Welcome to Cranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Cranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always wins. Come on, let's get into it. Good night, good night, good night. Buenos noches, everyone. Buenos noches, buenos noches. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I am extremely disappointed because I have my iPad in front of me, which I monitor like a hawk. And I noticed that there are 23 people watching and only 11 likes. That cannot be okay. So maybe I'm not seeing too well. Okay, no, I have eye challenges, so maybe I'll look at it a little bit later. But good evening. Bless up Uptown 1G or IG. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. This is a quick video, people. My phone has been blowing up this afternoon, as you can imagine. And I'm much quicker now in putting these things up. Good evening, Warren Webster. Bless up. Reggae Girls 18, that is true. Kurt Badine, bless up DJ Fatal. Up with all Chelsea. Chelsea fans are happy for a draw. Playing at home. Chelsea fans are beside themselves playing at home. We didn't play well. Maybe a draw was a fitting result given that Caicedo decided to get himself sent off. Come on, people, hit the like button, man. I don't want to see more people watching than likes. At a minimum, it should be equal. You have 37 watching and 16 likes. That can't be right. People, come on, hit the like button. It's your right. Use this thumb. Should use it for a lot of different purposes. So just use it. But not concerned. I'm a little bit concerned about the Arsenal, but we're here to talk Jamaica football tonight. No Arsenal. I wasn't even that totally unhappy, because I am. By the way, if you haven't watched my my video I dropped last night, I think it was, on my review of the Lucid Gravity, it's a SUV. Please watch it and give me a feedback. I'd appreciate it. Trying to do some variation in terms of what I'm doing. So watch the video. Tell me what your feedback is. It's about 30 minutes. It seems long, but it's a journey. And journeys do take a while. So as you come in, people hit the like button. Hit the like when you come in. Blessings, Paul. Blessing, Warren. Blessing, Nelta, Jamaica. I don't think I've seen Nelta before. Bless up, Issa Allen. So the purpose of this get-together, should I call it a meeting? Purpose of this get-together is to talk about the interview that just took place. I think it's today because I got phone calls, I got texts, I got people sending me the videos or the link. Rudolph Speid being interviewed by the Observer. And it's about his role as interim. We call him coach and manager. And the confidence that he's expressed in the interview, which is really interesting. Some of the things that he said. And as you see in my thumbnail, what I asked the question is Rudolph Speid trying to rewrite history after the World Cup debacle and collapse? And we're gonna get into it this evening. But let me recognize those of you who are in the chat before we jump into it. Because people are coming in and come out. And by the way, hey Rudolph, if you are around this evening and you want to have a conversation, we can talk. Because you weren't interviewed. That wasn't an interview, Rudolph. But hey Rudolph, if you do better than Rudolph, you do better. Then I interview that Rudolph. That's not an interview. If you're gonna have a very penetrative interview, people, and this is not to criticize the Observer or KLAS with Orville and Zidane. I don't know what the interview was for the Observer, or the Shotman program we interview sometime. We have to be transparent and genuine with our audience. The interview can't be, let me use a nice word, a suck-up interview. And this is not to beat anybody. It can't be a suck-up interview. The interview should be one where you're being professional, you're being cordial, but you're being penetrative. Whereas I can't leave the man alone. No, I mean, we got to talk about it, right? It's he's viral, he makes news, and he tells me he generates views, and I like views. I'm in this business for the views business. People don't hit the like button, man. More than half of the people haven't hit the like button. Come on, people, hit the like button. Uptown called a softball interview. I don't know. I think softball is actually hard, you know. The ball can hurt you in softball. Softball, the concept is you throw it, you know, you don't hit it, throw it hard. I don't know, both the questions and the landings were really soft. Now, to be full transparent to people, I'm gonna be a hypocrite. I have spoken to Rudolph, not today, but since the debacle transpired. Had a good conversation, 2 good conversations with him, actually. But as Rudolph will tell you, and frankly, he was fair, actually, in our conversation, because he said to me that I'm not disclosing anything. He said I was all over the place in one of my shows, but what else did he say? I can't really recall the conversation much, but it's interesting. I'm being hard on him, and I only pick on him, which is normally what he says, right? And sometimes our conversations are difficult conversations, to be honest. But Rudolph, as you know, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna try to tell the truth and be as transparent as possible, and hold you accountable, because I have to hold you accountable. I'm lucky today. There's another Chelsea fan who is living in dream world and realized that they should have lost the game. If Timber didn't take that ball away from Gokares, they would have lost. If Ateta made better substitutions, they would have lost. But anyway, we keep going. Why the interview? Wait, 1 second. Tafar said, why the interview edited so much? In the head coach, open for all criticism. Rudolph, write these questions. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do, people. I'm going to do 2 things tonight. We're going to listen to the interview in its totality, and then I'm going to ask the questions that should have been asked. So it may be a decent program in terms of the length of the program. We're going to do our own, and if CC in the chat or 433, you know, can't tell me. When it can be Rudolph, I'm interview, you know, because let me interview you by the people at Jamaica because skin crawling on people. Seriously, people. It makes you nauseous. Like guys, Observer, Gleaner, KLAS and the other station. Let me just say something, people. I understand Jamaica is a small place. I understand the need for access. I understand you don't want to burn bridges. But for Christ's sake, you have to do better. You have to do better. No, Omar Henry. If I'm Rudolph's friend, then he don't need no enemy. That is the truth. Hey, Omar, if me and Rudolph's friend, he don't need no enemy. He don't need no enemy at all. By the way, people, I talk to people of across all spectrum. Whether or not they and I have an association or not. If they have a conversation, I have a conversation. Or I remember have a conversation. I have nothing against Rudolph. Seriously. I am very interested in Jamaica and Jamaica's football. I'm going to call it out when I see it. Okay? So you guys who take it personal, I talk to Rudolph, that's your personal problem. I can't help you. But as I said, if I'm Rudolph's friend, then Rudolph don't need no enemy. I'm telling you the truth. Because you guys hear me talk about Rudolph on this channel. And Rudolph knows, I think there's a healthy respect there. At least from my end, there is. I hope there is from his end. But he knows I'm going to talk the truth. And he may not like what I say. But facts are facts. And opinion is opinion. And I'm going to say my opinion. And we're going to go through it. So here's what we're going to do. Talk nice to Speed and beat him. No, actually, that's not the way. Speed, no, it is. I'm going to call it like I see it. I told you we have difficult conversation. You guys can say all you want to say. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be me. We have difficult conversations. But he's a professional, as I am. And you guys may not realize this, but when I was in corporate, I knew people at the table, and this is not me and Speed, who hate each other. And they did business together. Because nothing should come in the way of business. You can have respect from somebody if you are fair and if you are penetrating. You shouldn't just be. I'm really trying hard to use the right words and not get too and not get terrible. But I find it hard with these media people in Jamaica. Like, why do you just say you're on Speid? Is Rudolph your brother or your uncle or your dad or something with that interview? It's like somebody interviewing Trump. Okay, you know what Trump is, right? You can't interview him a certain way. If you don't kiss his, you know what, then he's gonna come hard at you. But that's not Rudolph. Rudolph is very respectful and professional, right? But the questions that were asked, I'm gonna ask my questions tonight. I'm gonna ask my questions. I thought should be asked as Rudolph, because we failed to make the World Cup. This should not be no easy interview. This should be a painful interview. If you fail to make the World Cup in the easiest zone in the history of mankind, then it should be a difficult interview. Professional, respectful, but difficult. And that interview was, what word come to me? Crap. Bad. That's not a journalist or investigative journalist or a journalist with any credibility. That's just sad, actually. And this seems to be a theme in Jamaica. And that's why, the island will struggle and continue to struggle because we don't have any independence. We don't have any objectivity. I was saying on my watch along stream today, talking about when I was listening to KLAS the other day and listening to the Little Short Man program, and they were talking about conflict, and I was amazed to realize they didn't know what conflict means. Because when they're trying to explain conflict to the audience, you walk away shaking your head like, you can go Google it, and then you can extrapolate what's from Google to see what it means. They don't know what conflict means. They just didn't. And these are people who are public forum, have major programs, been in the media for years, think they walk on water, and they didn't know whatever true conflict is and what that entailed and how you remedy it. They just didn't know, and that's what's sad, actually. Brain Drain says, we did not fail. We're in. Hey, Brain Drain, by the way, Brain Drain, thanks for being a member. By the way, people, see, Brain Drain becomes a member, even though he probably is the most difficult person I have in the chat. No, he's not the most difficult. He's the most interesting person in the chat from the context of nothing is ever serious for Brain Drain people. He's always looking for some angle of what you say and giving an angle. Unlike Reggae Boyz Reactor, who's just rude and trolling you, Brain Drain let you think, which is really good. And I like to think. So Brain Drain, do your thing like you normally do. No, I can't get an interview. Rudolph says that you remember I had a viral situation, Rudolph, way back when on somebody else's channel, and Rudolph got upset and said he wasn't come back to YouTube. And then I saw him on another program. So I got that to say he's not coming back on my channel. And I haven't asked him, actually. So even though I spoke to him, I didn't ask him to come on my channel. If he want to come, he'll ask me to come, but he won't come. If I was Rudolph, I would come on my channel. Yeah, it probably would not. Rudolph was my first interview. I've said this, and I appreciate him coming on my channel then. But I wouldn't come back with somebody who's going to beat me all the time, and I think was not fair to me. No, I don't have anything against Rudolph, to be honest. I don't. I'm just talking what I see. Bless up vacation. Wait. I can't get this up. Vacation phone Jamaica. Well, you're probably right about that vacation phones, Jay. You're probably right. So maybe I should be more understanding. I am an antagonist. Why would Speid interview with a foe? We're not Brain Drain. I told you, I spoke to Speid twice in the last 2 weeks. What are you talking about? We're not foes. We just don't see eye to eye a number of times. Somebody call Rudolph and tell me I beat him tonight. So if they come, hey Rudolph, if you want to come on the channel, Rudolph, if you are want to be transparent and have a real interview, let's have a conversation. Money I powder you. Sorry, Rudolph. As we call it Jamaica, you powder you. I mean, I powder thing, Rudolph. If you have a real interview, this thing is getting to be out of control now. People, we failed to make the World Cup. Can I say this any other way? And we don't want anything about Brain Drain that we're in a playoff. We never play if we go in on playoff. Is Curacao in the playoff? Is Haiti in the playoff? Really? Is Panama in the playoff? Is the US in the playoff? Is Mexico in the playoff? We have 16 from CONCACAF and we win 6 ago. That is unbelievable. So here comes Paul Edwards. Hey, Paul, did you enjoy your Thanksgiving, Paul? Hey, Paul, people, There's some anti-cranky people in the chat now. Reggae Boyz Reactor, Paul Edwards, nationalists. So what happens is that people, when you do this, the JFF sends a couple cronies to come on my channel and try to beat me, which actually is a losing battle. But anyway, they come under assumed names and try to beat me. Now, Paul may not be part of the JFF, but Paul is very supportive. They can do anything. They can't get anything wrong. So us not making the World Cup doesn't really matter to Paul Edwards because he believes the right thing was done, as he normally does. So if they're leading down astray and leading astray, he doesn't really care. Paul Edwards will support the JFF. That's fine. That's his prerogative, by the way. Tafari said, local media jealous of YouTubers because they become dinosaurs because they are compromised and behind. Yeah, I think local media, but local media is also YouTubers nowadays, and they're talking about such that amount. So yeah, but anyway, let's do this, people, because I don't want to stay all night. I think my Knicks is playing tonight, Toronto. I want to watch them, but I'm gonna skip that because Jamaica is more important than my Knicks. We're gonna listen to the interview. For August, it's cranky like notification. Hey, Brad, are the best of people. You guys should listen to Brain Drain and pick sense out of nonsense, because sometimes he says nonsense sometimes. But pick sense, he has a lot of he's very how would I put it? It's like you listening to or you seeing an oxymoron on a continuous basis, and you're like, damn, that's a skill set that one's acquire if you are an innate critic, I call it. But anyway, let's go. So let's listen to the interview, and then I will provide my reaction to the interview. I found it very interesting. And some of you have watched it already, but you can watch it again to me, all right? So listen to the interview, then I'll provide my reaction.
Suited to solve the problem, right? And it's not just that I wanted to do it, the board.
So as we go through, I'm going to stop it just to make some comments, but that's not my reaction. That's just me making comments. So he's saying he's the best one suited to solve the problem. Now, I'll say this. If I fail, I'm the best one suited to rectify my failure, even though I was part of the failure. Okay, but let's listen to the interview. I think it's about 20-something minutes.
I think I'm probably the best one suited to solve the problem, right? And it's not just that I wanted to do it. The board wanted me to do it. So the vote is like 8-1-1. 8 persons say yes, 1 person absent, 1 person say no. So the board wanted me to do that. Well, I wouldn't vote because it's about me. So I wouldn't, So they believe that I can do it. I believe that I can do it. So a couple years ago, I would have said, even when other people was running down national jobs, I would have said I wasn't ready to to coach a national team. Now I think I'm ready based on what I've done. I mean, if you look at my track record, even in the Caribbean, I mean, even when I played Inter Miami, you know what we think that we shouldn't have lost the first game. We weren't afraid. We played them evenly in both games, So I just believe that at this particular point in time, based on the people that I would have spoken to, and what I was around the team for 8 games. Usually I'm not. And I think that is something that I can do.
Why are you the best person, and why do you think the board chose you? You said you think you're the best person, it's the best time for you to do it right now. Why?
Well, there's a number of reasons, because one of the things that we normally, so from a holistic point of view, Jamaica's since 1998, 27 years, we have tried a lot of different combinations. So people, would say, I pick this one coach, but we have tried like numerous coaches since, and none of them has been able to do the job to carry the team to the World Cup. We have brought in other coaches from overseas for under 17, under 20, every single team you can think of. And since that 2001, the only other coach who carried a Jamaica team to the World Cup was Donzel in 2011, the under 17 team. And even at that time, Donzel didn't even have all of his qualification. He's now an A-licensed coach. He's better now, experience and everything. So we have gone over our program since 2018, and we have developed our local coaches to a height. A lot of A-licensed coach, 4 of us doing the pro license. So there was always a plan for Jamaica coaches at some stage to get the opportunity to show what they're worth hard, And if you look at all the Jamaica teams now, they're all Jamaican coaches. It's easier for us to come to a philosophy while all of us are here and have the same brought up the same. So that long-term plan just manifests itself right now. That give a Jamaican coach a chance. Fortunately, or unfortunately, the board believe that I'm the best one capable of doing it, and I accept it.
All right. Describe a Rudolph Speid Reggae Boyz team. What does that look like?
I didn't know you wanted me to give the opposition what I'm
But that's best as I can.
No, I don't want to because, I mean, yeah, it is true. A lot of people coach against teams. It is true you need to coach against a coach because the team is playing what the coach wants, especially when you're playing against good coaches. So a Reggae Boy team for me, I really don't want to say at this particular point in time because it look like yes, every coach have player bias, but I really need to look through all that we have and pick the best person for the job. Person who's gonna fight, person who's gonna run 90 minutes, person who's gonna be disciplined and not thinking that they can, give the team, come to the match not 100%. That is really my concern. I want every player to come to the match 100%.
All right, answer it this way then. Considering that potential matches are in March, there's no FIFA window between now and then. Do you believe you have enough time to instill your philosophy, your beliefs, your expectations in the group of players, the wider group of players that we have available?
Yes. What happened with these players nowadays is not like players in the past. All of these players are versed in all the different moments of the game they are. The coach just choose a tactic. So that is why I'm not worried about the time because all of these players would know how to play in transition, how to defend or attack in transition, how to defend in their own half, in the middle third or out high press. They all know how to do it or they have an idea. It just a coach just decide which tactic he's going to use and which one of them he's going to use or half use. So I think 3-4 training session we can do a lot of work. Not everything, but I think we can do a lot of work.
Can we expect additions to the squad? And I know your name has actually been associated with people like Lloyd Kelly from Juventus. Was my team. Tyrese Hall as well as a name that we keep hearing.
Yeah.
Can you confirm any interest in these players?
Yes, there is interest in all the players. As a matter of fact, I have a list of players that probably never represent us, and I'm going through to see if they fit. Because at this particular point in time, there's no time for sentiments or long service awards or things like that. We need to find the 23 best players who is going to do the business for Jamaica.
On a personal level, Sir Speid, what does representing Jamaica at this level mean to you?
I'm a nationalist, so it don't even matter which level. If once Jamaica call, and I've been called to serve in other capabilities, people just know of me in football because they haven't done their homework. But as you know, I was a volleyball president for 6 years, and I was one match away from going to the Olympic, in qualifications. The GOA, I've been the chef de mission on more than one occasion. I've been in Peru, that was the Pan American Games, and I've done the Commonwealth Games in England. So, no, I've served Jamaica in all the other capacities. People just don't know. At this particular time, also, as you know, I've been appointed to the FIFA committee, right? And also CFU, I've served on the CFU Audit and Compliance Committee. So I've done a lot of work that people don't know about, which I'm proud of, and this is just another.
Whether you have a short tenure or a long tenure, what do you hope your legacy as the national head coach would be?
I am only thinking about 4.5 months to the end of March. I'm not even thinking longer than that. All of my focus is just to get the team over the line because that's what we need right now for Jamaica.
And if we get over the line, would you expect to retain that job going to the World Cup and even beyond? Would you be interested?
I don't know. It depends on what the board thinks because I'm also a very important member of the board. People believe that I only deal with the national senior team, but you have to remember what my track record is since I have this job. National Academy, that was me, or my committee. That was my committee. We did the men's Premier League, the revamping of the men's Premier League. Women's Premier League, we turned into a professional organization. I'm working on the the men's tier 2. I get it off the ground already, so it's gonna have its own operation. Coaching education, which is a big thing. We didn't have, when in 2018 we had, I think, 20 odd coaches with a B license. Now we have over 100. We have 1,500 D license. We have about 300 C license. We have about 8 A license and about 30 more doing it right now. And we have 4 persons doing pro license. So that is us. Club licensing is us. So there's a lot of things that we have put together from the technical committee. So people always say fire speed because we don't go to World Cup, but that's probably, you know, not even 5% of the job that we do. We put in regulation for academies. We do a lot of work. And if you notice, people pretend not to notice, but there was a while when the Caribbean was closing down on Jamaica in terms of, you know, our youth competition. We didn't win them. Last year, we win a lot. When they met the under 15, we win the under 20. We came 14 CONCACAF under 15. Arnold Garner win the Shield. Cavalier win the Caribbean Cup. Mount Pleasant is on the verge of winning. There's a lot of improvement in Jamaica infrastructure and building out what a good football nation look like in the future. And we have done extensive work on that, which is not being shouted around.
So clear that the technical committee has, you know, some significant achievements, but it's your role in that technical committee as well that has, you know, like you suggested, brought on criticism from some people who believe that you have a direct hand in, you know, the selection of the last 2 coaches who, you know, things have not gone so well. How would you respond to those criticisms?
Right. So when what happened, you know, is that we would have given the board, say, 4 names, and the board choose one. Sometimes it's not, the board don't choose the best one or the one that people think is the best football wise, because a number of factors like affordability. Somebody come and say they want 100,000 a month. There's no way we can afford. Some coaches come and say, you know, this is my salary, and I carry my staff, 8 people. We can't afford those 8. Not that we can't afford those 8, only that, but just think about how you stifle development are the ones that are here. The people who are here that are trying to get better at their craft. So, and this is what happened to us a long time. Some coach, even after we employ them, they say they're carrying 2 persons with them, and then all of a sudden you see 6 and 7 additional persons, you know, strain on our budgets. You know, they want first class travel, and then our local people who we're trying to develop, they move them out. So we're conscious of those things, right? So the last 2 coaches that come, as I said before, I thought it was a mixed bag, right? And we still have to give the coach some of the blame. We take we should take responsibility. Coach have to take responsibility, but the players also need to take responsibility. Everybody hears the stories. I mean, who says that, you know, if they were rested, you know, we wouldn't pull it off? So, I mean, it can't be me. I don't take all the blame. Everybody have to share it, I think.
Your record at the senior international level is just about to begin. How would you respond to questions about your ability at this level? We see what you have done at the club level, at the youth level, but this is your first time now coaching men's international team. How prepared do you feel for this job, and how would you respond to people who might have doubts about whether or not you are ready for the job, despite what you have done at the other levels?
Yeah, well, regionally I've done well too, right? But everybody had a first time. Every single person had a first time coaching an international team. But it's not my strength at football, is why I'm really strong. It's my other strengths that I've been managing people from I was 22. I understand the organization. I feel that almost nothing that I've set out to do. Those are the things that I think will carry me over the line. Of course, the football knowledge is great. I am not one not to ask people who know more than me what their opinions are. I have, like, otherwise from Mr. Kodo we talk about already, there is like 3 other former reggae boy coach line up to come and help. Well, I'm getting calls every day, to be honest. There's more that have certain skills that I'm going to be using. So it's not a speed thing. So that is what people are missing. The first rule of good management is to employ good people. That is what people don't figure. It's not me going to have all the answers. It's all the people who employ, make a team. And that's what I must think about, what my team is going to look like. That is going to be the key. I will need player people who can do the on-field drills, right? I will need people who is going to analyze everybody, analyze everything about our players and their position, right? Me alone can't do it. Of course, me have ideas about how things should be done, but everybody know what a good leader does, and I've done extensive work in my coaching, training, corporate, and in football about what true leadership is, and I think I'm very, very good at it.
Miguel Coley confirmed is going to be the assistant coach. How do you feel about his appointment, and how can he help the process?
Yes, he has a tremendous experience coaching overseas, although most time is as an assistant, but he's a smart person. I think his insights will be significant, but there's other persons that coach at a high level who is joining the team, international level also. So I don't think you can look at me and say it's me, it's the team. So we have people who coach at international level, we have people who coach at high level in clubs, so when you put that team together, I think we'll have a good team.
Can you say on record who these other people are at this point?
No, because they have to clear some things with their with some of them that works have to clear some things first. Yes.
I know Rene Simoes has offered this himself. Do you see a role within the setup at whatever level for Coach Simoes?
The game has evolved a lot, and and he had 2 stints. I am not looking there, but I find this really weird about persons. If he wants to help himself and genuine and didn't want to get the publicity, just call me, because why is he telling everybody else and not telling me? So I don't know what his motives are. So let's see.
Oh, you have not spoken to him at all?
No, I think him should call me. If anybody who want to help, just call me. Mm-hmm. I'm not against taking help. Mm-hmm.
Let's turn our attention to the Interconfederation playoffs in March. Obviously, Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, that's the tougher opponent, right? Before we get there, we have to beat New Caledonia. What are your thoughts on the overall competition that awaits us?
I think it's more difficult to get through that one than the one that we feel. That's my assessment. Mm. New Caledonia is not coming to play dead. They are going to be playing very hard, and it's easy for us to underestimate them. In addition, they have an advantage. They play at altitude, and we're going to be playing at altitude, right? So we have to take those factors into consideration. You see, when a team knows, what they have to do, like New Caledonia, they know that they're playing opponents that is higher ranked, they play different. So it's gonna be a task to break them down and get to score some goals. So we have to really look and study them, but I think we have to be careful not to look past them before we get past them. And so I'm not going to try and take that risk. I'm going to be focused on them too. Now, Congo is come across with a lot of pedigree, and they would have done extremely well. There's the African Nations Cup coming up, which they will get some more practice, more than us, because we will be dormant while they are playing at least 3 games. I expect them to go through the round, so I expect them to play at least 4 games or 5 games. So yeah, they'll have a more set team. But it's an advantage and it's also a disadvantage. They'll probably just stick to that team, so I'll be able to more look at what they are capable of doing. But we rank 70, they rank above 56. We have beaten teams ranked much higher than Congo in the past. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be tough, and we have to be on our A game and get the persons and the people with the right mentality that go into that game to say we can't lose. But it's not beyond us. I think we can do it.
Confident?
Yes, I think we can do it. It's not beyond us.
What will be the biggest challenge in preparing this team in such a short time, and how do you plan to overcome that challenge?
Well, one of the things now we're looking at is who is playing, who is, playing every day, who is playing a lot of minutes. What happened? Those are some of the players we have to really look at to say, okay, it's not gonna be a tournament where you play 6 games is a knockout. So it have to be a knockout mentality that you have. You have to go for the juggler every single time in both games and see it out if you have to. So it's a mentality that I think we have to develop. I think we'll have a couple of days to do it. So we just have to use what we have. You see, it don't make sense at this point. We're saying we need more time. We just never get the time. So we have to go look on the games and work back where when we're going to do what to make sure we are the best prepared as possible for each one of the individual games. So we get past New Caledonia and it's Congo. We have some more time. So if we need a psychiatrist to come in and speak to the players, we make sure we structure everything right. So we just look on the 31st and work backward when we get the player.
You know what the Reggae Boyz mean to Jamaica. You know what the qualifying to the World Cup would mean to Jamaicans. Just finally, what is your word to the public? What's your word to the players who you'll be taking charge of as we go into the Rudolph Speid-led era of the Jamaica's national senior men's football team?
Well, you want me to sing a song? Tell them don't worry about that thing. No, serious. I mean, look, whatever is going to happen in that, Jamaica can be assured that there will be no compromise. We'll be uncompromising about the players that we put on the pitch. And I expect the players to be uncompromising with any opponents that they play against. And I can assure you that whatever debacle used to happen, all of these players come on the pitch 100%. Not 90 and not 85% player. All of them are come 100% for give everything them got to Jamaica's effort. You never asked me the question, but some people might ask why McLaren win if I was there. I was never there to insist. I was always there to assist. And I assisted him, but he had the last say in everything. So I couldn't, and people have to understand one of the problem with if you come and try bully somebody who's in charge, then they'll stop listening to you. So it's my time. You say what you have to say, but I was assisting, not insisting, And if him want advice, he marks. So for him no want, So yeah, that's really how that go. I was assisting, not insisting.
I mean, on that note too, how do you personally feel about that disappointment of not securing qualification when we had the chance to the final round?
You see, like most people just look at the football alone. I don't look on just the qualification to the World Cup alone because this means so much more to Jamaica, right? Financially, we struggle. Everybody knows that we have 11 national teams and only one team make money. Not even the girl team make money, right? The women's senior team. So, and then we have a lot of teams, leagues that we need to develop, youth programs that we have to, which a lot of times we have to neglect those to pay for, the senior teams to go on their journey. So financially, it's a disaster for us. We needed the money, right? If we run the organization properly and help with development programs, etc. So it's a disaster on a lot of levels for us. Again, after Melissa walked through Jamaica again, we thought this would be something good to happen to the nation so everybody could be happy. I remember the last time we went to the World Cup, I think the people report that there was no crime the next year or something like that, or the same year and the next year or something like that. It was just a good feeling. So we deserve something. We needed something special for the country after the disaster that we got through and so many people did lose their most of everything. So from those levels, it was a great disappointment for us. And I never thought at no point in time until it finally finished that we would not have made it. Really disappointing.
There are still shockwaves over the upcoming.
Okay, that was Rudolph Speid. Providing his perspective on what transpired and why we failed, and very confident that we will qualify. Now, you would think I wouldn't have much to say, right? So I jotted down some notes. This was a Rudolph Speid interview, which gave him the opportunity to present his case as to why he should not be blamed for the debacle. So let me take some of your comments first, and then I have a soliloquy that I'll undertake. Should be very interesting, actually. I will go through some of my comments I jotted down, notes that I've taken, and my perspective on what transpired in the interview. Let me see what some of your comments are. JFF Brook, yes, then Brook from long time, just never a year. Even though it's been their best sponsorship year ever. But then Brook, yeah. Brain drain as usual. When Speid talked about the one day we had no crime, he said if there's laws, there are crimes. But you can have laws in areas that's not criminal, right? You can have laws in finance, you can have laws in other areas which no criminality may occur. But I assume that you're meaning that if you have laws and the laws get broken, it may result in criminality. So yeah, I guess that's sort of logical. Paul Edwards say it was an excellent interview. Let me drink some water, people. Because when Paul was talking to me, I feel shit, man. Hey, Paul. Speid by yours. What Speid I give, Paul? Excellent interview. Fratted. By who and whose part? The interviewer part or Speid's part? Or both? Money Pro Music says the vibes I'm getting from Speid is like him wanting the players them to play for charity. Some will, but you can't expect our players to do that. Yeah. Someone says, Carter says, way of saying something is not a public statement from Greenwood announcing his intentions. I don't even know what that means. Way I said something. I hear him say nothing about England. People interpret the way they want to. At no point you thought we wouldn't qualify. Interesting. With the way we played the last 4 or 5 games, at no point it crossed his mind that maybe we couldn't. Brother, Carter says, brother, I'm hopeful and optimistic, but me refuse to be delusional. Hear that alone, may have to hear. Tyrone Rave says, too much backwards thinking, JFF. Old boys club in played no substance. So somebody, I want to put it up here. Paul Edwards says both the interviewer and the interviewee. Okay. When I'm done, Paul, you can tell me how I've done what I said and ask my questions. People, I have my own interview questions, by the way. So I'm going to conduct my own interview of Cranky, and I'm going to be playing both Speid and the interviewer. I'm going to do both. But I'm going to go through this. This may be a long show. Now. I said 8 o'clock yet? Cranky, not easy. Man say, what are you getting, Paul? Yeah. No, he must be getting something. Anybody who says a great interview must be getting something. Whatever somebody said, Greenwood scored a saying, I don't believe it, because Greenwood haven't said a damn thing in public domain. People put up stuff that they're saying Greenwood say. I haven't seen it. So Lensworth Campbell says, we are too foreign-minded that we don't qualify too much foreign in the team. Every World Cup time, what we do. Okay, here. It's one of those people that's causing the problem, people. The us versus them mentality. People who are citizens should not be considered because they weren't born in Jamaica. The only people who should be considered for the national team are those who were born in Jamaica. And if we had them, they would qualify. And yes, I did hear somebody talked about the great midfielders we produce in Lamar Walker and Malachi Douglas. I think I heard that on the Little Short Man channel. He talked about those being excellent midfielders who we produce. He didn't say that exactly like what he was suggesting, because the question was that Rudolph Speid basically said Jamaica doesn't produce very good midfielders. And that's what was said on his program. And he agreed or concurred, or he said it. So you must be one of those Lensworth Campbell individuals, must be one of those individuals who believe that the talent on the island is so great. That's why when the coaches come, they go look for foreign-born players because they don't like good talent. They don't like good talent. Let me see what else is here I should put up. Yeah, J Money. I know he hasn't. People just make up crap. There's one YouTuber who likes to do that. He just lies repeatedly. And he would put up stuff that's just lying. He's a liar. I'm a sports blem. I'm going to call him out. He's a liar. What's his name? JT or whatever his name is. He's a liar. And he lies repeatedly and he puts stuff out which is incorrect and wrong and rude. And you don't hear me beat YouTubers now. But he lied on me and he lied on Rudolph Speid about Rudolph said something about me. People like that are despicable. Seriously, despicable. You can't be an adult and act like a 5-year-old and lie for lying's sake. So yeah, I'm gonna call it out. I have no problem doing that. Man is a liar and despicable person. When I called him up about it, he said, "Oh, you can't take a comment." No, I can't take a liar and a despicable individual. Cannot take you. Lies for no reason. Man just lies just to get clicks. Can't be that serious. Go get a damn job. All right, so cranky time now. So let's go over the interview, people. So we'll start. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the channel. So I observe a few things. Speid appears calm during the interview because he wouldn't get no tough question. Rudolph, if you're in the chat, Rudolph, come in, me interview you right now. I'm dead serious, Rudolph. Come interview you. Questions won't be hard to relay to you. But if you think about he was confident, what was he confident about? Fixing the team or fixing his image? Because while he speaks like an outsider in terms of helping the coach, the truth is he was both the technical director he was a technical chair of the technical committee, and the technical advisor. Now, I know he said he was assisting, not insisting, because we're now in the rhyme business. But this is serious business. We're not a rhyme thing. First of all, he said he was there for 8 games, people. We'll call out certain things, 8 games. 8 games. We'll come back to the 8 games. Because my head hurt me. The thing about the people, see, when you've been doing this for a while like I am, and some of the other YouTubers, and you are immersed in Reggae Boyz football, and you know the players, you know the situation, you know the coaches, you know the history, then you can talk like an informed party. Not like some of these run-of-night traditional media in Jamaica who spend no time looking at players, observing players, reviewing players, looking at situation, and they're too busy with their sponsors and their program to really invest in the program. They don't. They don't invest in themselves and the program. So what ends up is they're very superficial in their analysis and their interviews, and they're not penetrative. They're not persuasive. They are nothing what you need in real media, because they think that they're the media and they're elite, to really provide insight and transparency and perspective to an audience. And it's frustrating and it's sad. So let's go back. As technical director and technical advisor, part of your role should be to oversee recruitment, preparation, philosophy, long-term strategy, everything that is involved in the football program. You may not be the technical director, but you're the head of the technical committee, so this thing should be done. As you said on your interview, you got to hire good people. And if they're good at what they do, and you allocate their responsibilities, and they execute based on what their resume says and what you assess them to be, then you collate all that information, you make informed decision about them, their performance, what's happening, what direction you're going in. So the interview feels less like a reflection and more like reputation management. And fans should ask the question, why wasn't this clarity and confidence and leadership previously displayed? Why wasn't that displayed before? Where was that when we met the World Cup against teams which are supposedly, as he said, we have beaten teams which are ranked above us, and yet we're struggling to beat teams which are ranked below us. He said he was involved for 8 games. If you think about 8 games, I would assume the 6 games we played in the CONCACAF qualifiers, and probably 9 games because he was probably there for the Gold Cup too, because it has to be 9. If he said 8, then it has to be 9 games. So he missed a game. Played 6 games in the qualifiers, played 3 games in the Gold Cup, unless he went in subsequent to the first game. And I don't think so, because I think he went to the Unity Cup, he came back, there was concern, he became advisor. So for 9 games. Let me say this. The interview paints Speid as calm, prepared, unfazed, no pressure. But he hasn't acknowledged to me a single material mistake in the last 2 years. no accountability, no great explanation, no ownership. When you skip over your role in failure and speaks only about what's next, that's rewriting history. That's rewriting the story. That's rewriting what's transpired. And we all know what transpired. Now, let me say this. I don't know I'm supposed to get confidence from this. I'm going to go through the interview in detail because I jotted down some stuff here. Let me just say something. If we think about something Rudolph says in the interview, and I'm going to go over them soon. If he was involved for 9 games, what is 9? 9 games, people. He was involved for 9 games. We went to the Gold Cup with 2 midfielders. And Rudolph will tell you, I assist, not insist. And then Rudolph went on Little Shortman's program and basically said he would not pick that midfield. What the hell? So you were there assisting and you allowed a coach to go to midfield. People, it was 2 midfielders. They had 5 listed. We went to a tournament with 2 midfielders. Haiti was going back to England. I knew this way before it happened, and I said that. Busy Atkins was not a midfielder, and Bobby Reed was injured, coming off an injury. So we had 2 midfielders. 2 midfielders, people. Palmer and Russell. Amazing. Amazing. Make no sense to me. So let's go over some of the comments that he made. I'm going to make this kind of comment. If Jamaica wins, Speid is a hero. If they lose, he's Teflon Don. He has no responsibility. And Rudolph, you're going to be mad at me, Rudolph, but I got to call it like I see it. I know you're going to be mad at me. But yeah, I don't know. Somebody's going to say this. Why is he, so the interview asked, why was he the best man for the job? The board wanted him to do it. I think he said one person disagreed. He didn't vote. And the other 7 or 8, whatever he does, agreed. Then he talked about his accomplishments in some respects and shouldn't have lost the game against Inter Miami. So, Rudolph, I'm going to remind you, Rudolph, because sometimes we have memory problems. We keep talking about our Caribbean accomplishments. But God damn it, Haiti's going to the World Cup. Haiti's going to the World Cup. Curacao is going to the World Cup. Curacao population is sometime between 150 and 180, what we want to believe. Haiti has major problems as a country. They might go World Cup, we now and go. So I'm talking about no Caribbean thing when it comes as an individual. You're part of the regime. You hired the coach. And you and I had a conversation in these. And one of the reasons why you left YouTube was because me and you argue. I'm going to tell you, I want a Spanish coach. Because you go full coach, you're going to hire. And then I'm going to work and you go hire the coach. And then you don't want to take responsibility. When the coach I leave him, I talk about you, him say speed. I tell the people, say you hire him. That's what you make a recommendation. The board just rubber stamp your recommendation. Them. The board is useless. Useless. So let's go back to what Speid said and talk about Inter Miami. Rudolph, you have played 2 games against teams outside the Caribbean. The Caribbean is not a measuring stick. They're all going south, not north. 2 games against teams in the Caribbean. Okay, 2 games. I mean, 2 games, two rounds against teams in CONCACAF, outside the Caribbean, MLS teams, Cincinnati and Miami. You lost by 10 goals to 0. You have not scored a goal in any of the 4 games you have played. Not 1 goal. Did you miss a couple of chances against Miami in the first game? Yes. You don't score no goal. You don't look close to beating them anytime soon. Cincinnati walked in the park. You say it was iPads and stuff you didn't have. You didn't have the tools. Against Inter Miami, you know what the excuse is. So you make some money. Like, so you haven't done anything outside the Caribbean to get excited about. Yes, doing well in the Caribbean is a good thing, and you should be commended for that. But when you went to the higher region, like you're trying to go against Congo, okay, talk about better teams, you ain't do nothing. You ain't beat no teams you're not supposed to beat. Which team you beat outside the Caribbean you're not supposed to beat? You're supposed to beat Cincinnati outside the Caribbean. You don't beat them. You don't beat Inter Miami. You're close to beat them. So how do you achieve above what your expectation is when you can't beat them team there? Or you can't even draw with them? They didn't get a draw. You lose 4 of them by a score of 10-0. You look score a goal 0. My head hurt me. Me the nonsense there. Let's go again, people. What me chat down, you know? Why the board chose him? Numerous coaches come in for the World Cup and has not been successful. Only done with under 17 since 98. Okay. Let's take a step back. For the men's team, yes. That is correct. And we're going to touch upon that. We came close 1 year. But Donaldson took the women to the last, the second round of the World Cup in our history never happened. And you don't let him go and say, oh, No, that wasn't it. We didn't renew his contract. Him no getting on no feelings with some lady upon the board. I want to fire the best coach you ever have in no history. And then you talk nonsense about say they do have nothing in the World Cup. I know man team alone go World Cup. Woman team go World Cup too. They were on the map more than a man. They were being commended. They were being lauded. Except, you know what? They might fight with them. War with them. Dysfunctional. So none of them have war. Major war, people. Major war. You and the girls had war because we're dysfunctional. And because we're so stubborn and don't want to be the adults in the room, we couldn't come to compromise. And I supported you guys in some respects with the girls, but I also beat you guys in some respect with the girls. I think the girls didn't make the strategy of missing the Gold Cup. Kind of fight with them and race on no feelings. I'm not gonna make a good decision. On beat no feelings. It's not about being a nationalist. About yourself. That's why that happened. Let's go to Hagrimson. Him fire Uno. He couldn't work with Uno. What are we missing here, people? Hagrimson fired the JFF because he couldn't work with them. He couldn't work with the interference. And then we hear Omar McFarlane come on CVM, interviewed by another. Let me choose my words carefully. By another brilliant, deductive, persuasive, penetrative. The man says a great interviewer, Orville from KLS and CVM. Company station in my talk. I made an interview. It was the most nonsensical interview ever, and the man saying great. Omar deny everything. Teflon Dan deny everything. Nothing sticks because they didn't ask the right question. And some of the things we know that was said are true. I know them a long time ago. Anyway, Rudolph said there was always a plan for Jamaica coaches to get opportunity. So if the plan was to Jamaica coaches to get opportunity to people, and you have Meron Gordon there, coach after coach, was the plan to get Meron to the next level? Why was the question asked? If the initial plan was to get coaches with requisite experience, know-how, and learnings to elevate them to the level of national coach, why just have Meron Gordon there all the time? And you're not considering him now to be a coach on your staff. Why is Meron Gordon there? Why don't you have you there? Or somebody is there to learn, develop, evolve, and then take over the role? Why didn't we have that? What was the purpose of Meron there every single window when you're saying that that was the plan all along? What kind of plan was that? And let's go back to the coaches. You fired John Wall. No, you said you reassigned him because you make us look like we're fooling now because he couldn't do multiple roles. We have the interview there on YouTube. And then John Wall soon, I'll complain to FIFA about another PF John Wall. Because it was the dismissal was deemed to be inappropriate. Because John Wall didn't want to have the under-20 team locally based with local players because they weren't good enough in his eyes. And he was proven right. He had 14 players, including the same Tyrese Allen I talked about. 14 players he wanted to bring in. Uno wouldn't bring them in. And then what happened? Uno go CONCACAF, go embarrass himself, get 15 love. And what want to do? Uno carry the under 15, come give out to people. I had people discuss with people in the JFF because I did thing and other. Uno come talk to people about it. No, because we're a private organization. Uno have to answer to nobody. Okay? So they bring out the under 15, roll them out, because then win a Caribbean like we always do, as if the Caribbean is any longer the competition. You think we can win Caribbean and go World Cup, people? Well, that's not necessarily true because Curacao did and went to the World Cup. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Be confused. My head hurt me. The board believes he's the best. Who are the other candidates, board? Rudolph is the best. Did we do an interview? Did we do a search? What were we rushing for? His appointment is December 15th. Who did we look at to say he was the best? Did we look at 5 candidates, 10 candidates? Or did we do what we did the last time, which is somebody I work with JFF during FIFA, the COVID period, and we bring them in because we know them, we see them, without doing really good due diligence and assessment and search to identify the best candidate, given cost constraint. Wow. That's amazing. So we hire Rudolph as he's the best person by a board, which is a member of, that isn't that confusing, people. An advisor who hired the coach, was part of the advisory team. They failed to go to the World Cup. And how do we reward failure? That's failure. We're rewarding failure. That's amazing. He was asked, is there time to instill philosophy? Is there time to instill philosophy, given that we're going to the playoffs? And he mentioned players of verse in different moments of the game. You know, football like to talk about moments, as if it's some great thing, and you need to understand different moments of the game, different aspects of the game. It's like anything else in life, people. Life have moments. When you leave your house, you have moments. You go to the driveway, you have moments. You reach a corner, you have moments. You make the right turn, you have a moment. If you're a doctor, you have a moment. When you go to the operating room, it's a moment. When you cut the person open, it's a moment. We like to use these terms that we make up, and they sound so great and so wonderful and so intellectual. Whatever. Have they been educated in football? And that's part of the problem that we have, is that the local players are not educated in football and not technical the way it should be. That's why they struggle. And the people in Jamaica can't see that because they can't see them eye from them ears or them nose or whatever the hell you call it. So players don't need time. So why everybody said need time? We don't need no time. We have 2 days before the first game, but we don't need no time. I have never heard such garbage in my goddamn life. What do you mean we don't need time with players? What are we talking about, people? If you want to implement your strategy and how you want to play, you need time. Say you won't have time, so you have to figure out a way to make it work. Don't say you don't need time. That's nonsense. What are we talking about? I think Arsenal gets so good, and all the players who play for Arsenal, and I talk about how much detail he is and how they learn from him, and they never played football before. Sometimes I think it's overstated because they want to be in them good graces, but still. And he was asked, will there be additions? Now, this is a really interesting one because the interviewer mentioned Lloyd Kelly, Tyrese Hall, and he said he wants the best 23. Let me just say this. We have been talking about these players ad nauseum on these programs, people. Now to go just pursue them now versus then. I had a conversation with somebody in the JFF about Tyrese Hall. I sent the person clips about Tyrese Hall. Supposedly the coach went and said the player is one for the future. And you just feel to call some bad word when you hear them nonsense there. Seriously. I know we are pursuing. So if I want for the future, we are pursuing now. When we see the kid that play a ball and I play good and I score a goal. And we just dismiss him. So why didn't Speid fire the coach before? Fire him before the World Cup. Fire him after the World Cup. Because he wasn't doing anything. We're struggling against BVI, we're struggling against Cuba, struggling against everything. So why not fire him? So the coach fire himself. So he's come from interest certain players who we should have known already. So if we want to, why would we pursue these players that we say we're going to pursue now? That's the question. So Speid talk about his other accomplishment. Maybe Speid have too much job. I'm a technical director for Monroe. I'm a professional life company. I'm a Cavalier coach and sporting director and owner. I'm a JFF technical. I'm have too much job. Jamaica, we know nobody else can do no work. Nobody know Jamaica we do no work. Yeah? Nobody in Jamaica do no work. If we do anything apart from a few people. Rotted. This is madness. And Speid mentioned all these great accomplishments we have had. Women Pro League, JPL, coach education, pro license. Let me just say this, people. All that's all good. And that's right direction. But these things have to manifest themselves in the public domain, which is on the field of play and in the environment we operated in. And everything seems to be in its infancy. Everything seems to be in infancy. It's not in some place where it's so mature, where you can say, you know what, this has been done. We don't know if the coaches them go through training, learn not now and good at what they do. We don't know. We can't tell. When are we going to, the question should be about when are these things going to materialize in the environment that we operate in? And then Speid on talk about winning the Caribbean. And when they win the Caribbean. We've been winning the Caribbean for years. We win the Caribbean before Speid. And we're winning the Caribbean now. We always win the Caribbean. We used to struggle with Trinidad, yes, but we win the Caribbean all the time. This is not new. So detailing Caribbean accomplishments as if it's some great accomplishment is not. What are we winning outside the Caribbean? Tapa did well in the Gold Cup. In fact, Tapa did much better than some of these coaches have done, to be honest. The question about everybody starts at this level, I would agree. Somebody get international experience, but you have no experience as an assistant or anything, or you have coached nothing where we have accomplished anything outside the Caribbean. This is international, which is outside the Caribbean. You haven't put yourself in a position. Yes, you're a smart person. That's without saying. And I believe in this wholeheartedly, that if you've done well in your professional life, you can't do well in football. To me, not that complex. It ain't that complex. especially the people who do well in football and coaching. I was the one who have some kind of education, are smart enough to be managers. And I agree, if you're a manager and you're a good manager and you realize it's not about you, it's about the people who you hire, what their roles are, and you're able to evaluate talent, whether it's in the boardroom or in the playing field, yeah, that should help. But why weren't you putting yourself in a position to then transition to the national team as coach, if that's what your ambition was? Didn't see that happening. And then we talk about Simonis. I'm not going to the Simonis situation. I don't know what that entails. He didn't seem happy to hear about Simonis. By the way, people, if you haven't hit the like button, if you don't like the program, people, you're not hit the like button. If you like it, hit the like button. That's all I have to say. Now move on from that. Now, at least he's saying we're going to take every opponent seriously. So New Caledonia seriously. You think they're going to play low block? Well, we're full of selfie. Right. So what we all play against Congo? If they all play a low block against, we will play against Congo. He did say something that was good, though. He's going to look at the players who are playing regularly. I've been saying this for the longest, people. Pure bench player we have. Pure bench player we have. Pure bench player we have. Maybe 80% of the players are my bench player. And maybe half of them now get no game time or portion of game time. That's a problem. So that means we'll drop off half the team. If the focus is going to be people getting game time, maybe, as he said, he needs to recruit new players. First of all, the ones we have, some of them are not good enough, and others are not getting the game time. But this concept that Rudolph is trying to provide to the general audience about he was only there as an assist versus insist. Sorry, Rudolph. Yeah, I'm boss, and I'm bite. You guys went to the playoffs, the World Cup qualifiers with not a good enough midfield, and you went to the Gold Cup with the same say just a little bit better than the Gold Cup in the midfield. That was negligence at its highest. Negligence at its highest. And at the end of the day, it cost us immensely. Cost us immensely. Really sad, actually. So I'm not sure we're going to get that confidence, Rudolph. I know you hate this what I'm saying here. I know where this confidence come from when playing a team that's better than us. And we don't have no time to prepare. So why we need McLaren and people? Okay, let me ask these people. What Rudolph is saying is that anybody can get this job done, so they never need McLaren. So we'll pay McLaren and Halgrimson $500,000 a year or even more to become coach if anybody can do this. If you don't need much time with the player, them. If it's moments of the game and they all been trained different moments. What if we play our system of play, low block, mid block, transition? If then why we need no big coach? We need anybody can coach them then. Tell them a little bit of education. So why we pay them coach all the money for? Why we never just hire somebody local from a long time? If it's so easy, I want to need no big name. I don't understand. I am totally confused. Now, I would have had questions for Rudolph Speid. And so I'm going to ask some of my questions. I'm going to go through them quickly. I have questions for Rudolph Speid. Rudolph, come on the program, man. Let me ask the question them. Joe. It's not working for me now, Rudolph. I can't ask myself the question now. Come on the program, Rudolph, so I can ask you the questions. I'm going to take some comments first. And then I'm going to go to my questions that I have for Rudolph. Because I have a lot of questions. A lot of questions. A lot of questions, people. So, before the game is saying, Cranky, listen, the video again. How much time you think is needed to fight, run, and give 100% doing that? It's so funny. Funny. This is not a Caribbean stick mentioned anymore. They're recruiting outside the region. We've been recruited outside the region. Cranky Speid undermined the coach of the job. I don't know what Speid did. It's just not good. No long-term sentiment. So he's saying he's not obligated. Well, no coach should have long-term sentiment when it comes to professional football. I don't think Tuchel going to have long-term sentiment when it comes to England. If Maguire's not playing and playing well, he ain't going to pick him. That's what Southgate's to do. Some coaches have sentiment, but they're limited. Let me see what the comments are here. I know about the dog too, but yeah. No, I truly believe Speid wanted to get to the World Cup, but he doesn't know how to get there. That's the problem. because it's speed higher speed to advise Steve. Speed accept Steve resignation. Speed hire Rudolph to replace Steve. Did I miss anything? No. No, I don't think you did, actually. They ignored the midfield because we were calling for Ravel. He did it to spite us. No, I don't think so. None of the parties involved believe that Ravel is worth the trouble. Yeah, it appears that way. Hey, Paul Edwards. Let me say this to you, Paul Edwards, because I think you're confused about I give a damn what you think. Paul Edwards, neither you nor the people who run the JFF. If you tell me I'm stupid, I embrace that with glee, Paul Edwards. If you guys tell me I'm stupid, I embrace that with glee. Trust me. With glee. That's all I gotta say, Paul. With glee. Emotional, not logical. Okay, Paul. And you're logical. No, that doesn't work, Triple E. No, that doesn't work, Triple E. So another pickup team is always a pickup team. To get to the World Cup, Paul Edwards, take your head out, you know what? I said in Jamaica, I say head. Take your head out, you know what? We had a chance to go to the World Cup directly, automatically. The easiest zone ever, and we failed. Because the administration failed and the coaches failed, or the coach failed. I call the coaches because he had reserve. People like Paul Edwards, people are part of the problem in Jamaica. Paul, you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. We put up with nonsense. We put up ineptitude. We put up with failure. And we embrace failure. And then we say, oh, we can't do anything. Because I was told that we can't do anything about the JFF because you're a private organization. I think I have seen where fans have affected how organizations operate, whether it's a public company, private company, whatever. So long as you have a public-facing program, you can be affected. I don't give a damn what they say. You can. Now, I hear Little Shopman, I thought, well, since we learn, say a private company, we can't do nothing. Because you're in bed with them. You're not challenging them. They can be challenged, people. They can be hurt in a number of different ways. Just got to organize yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, I think that in Europe, the big teams in Europe, the Real Madrid, the Arsenal, all over, want to go form their own runaway league. What happens? The fans and media say, hell no. Not happening. You know what happened? It got squashed. Man, you want to bring back Greenwood. The woman, especially the woman, says, hell no, not happening. It got squashed. Trust me. You can make people living hell, like people hell, when you're fans and you're in the public domain. If you really want to do it. Now, yeah, don't worry about Paul Edwards. I mean, Paul Edwards, nationalists, all them people who come in here, try to derail the conversation. They can say what they want to say and do what they want to say. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to say what I say. I'm not as smart as they are, apparently, but I'm going to say what I say. Nah, Rudolph's not going to come. Rudolph tell me he's not coming back on YouTube, and then I see him on YouTube. What he should have said is, I'm not coming back on Cranky's program, ever. That's what he should have said. It's private in the context of FIFA is a private organization, not subjected to any government, not a public company. And they make sure they maintain that status by threatening countries that if they ever not adhere to FIFA rules and requirements, they will ban them from their tournaments and participating in their organization. And as such, they determine how countries want to participate in their tournaments, operate, and government can't do a damn thing. They can't. That's why they're private. That's how they operate. And it's worked like that. And even though you see FIFA members have gone to jail for corruption a while back under Sepp Blatter's regime, it's because they violated rules and laws in certain countries. So if you notice, when FIFA had this corruption scandal, and most of the people who went to jail were from this part of the world, South America, North America, the Caribbean, it's because they used the US banking system. You notice, no person from Africa or Asia got arrested or get to jail. A few people from Europe, like Blatter, got in trouble and what's his name from Platini got in trouble. But most times you use the American banking system, you move money through that route of moving money. That's how you get in trouble. So FIFA does what he wants to do. FIFA was the one who told the JFF to change their electoral process, and all they did was just made some small changes. Went from 13 voters to 50 something, but still maintain it with a certain environment and a certain way of operating, and therefore they do what they do. They satisfy the parish presidents, give them a few dollars here and there, and it works out well for them. So here's some of the questions I would ask Rudolph. Rudolph, so you're here in absentia. You're an absentee. But let me ask the questions. First question is, Rudolph, you were the technical director and advisor during the qualification campaign. What specific decision did you get wrong that contributed to Jamaica's elimination? How much responsibility do you personally accept for the World Cup failure? Do you believe you should have resigned after the collapse? If not, why not? How do you, in God's name, justify remaining in charge of the technical program given the poor results, especially the poor coaching? And in addition to that, how do you even consider being for the role of interim head coach when you were the technical advisor and some of the poor decisions made were under your purview? Because you were not just the technical advisor, you were the chief technical committee when you were in that role. Oh, by the way, Rudolph, what exactly were your day-to-day responsibilities as technical director during the qualifiers? We haven't heard that. You were there to advise. What does that mean? Did you give advice that was not accepted? How does the process work? Walk us through the protocol about how that's going to work. Because the coach say he welcome you, so he must take your perspective on advice. And you still went to the qualifiers with 5 midfielders, even after we went to 2 with the Gold Cup. So please explain to us. If systems were broken, why didn't you fix them in your role? By the way, Rudolph, question for you. What due diligence was conducted before you hire McLaren? And the ones you recommended, were you fully supported? Jamaica hired a coach with no modern football resume. Because when he comes, he said he's going to play modern football. So did you do your due diligence? And if you did he seem like a modern coach to you? Or he had a pro license from God knows when? Or because you work with him in FIFA, he seemed like the hell he knows what he's talking about? Did you influence or pressure any coach regarding player selection? Because we heard that was the case multiple times. You said you were there to assist, not advise. So often did the coach push back against your input, or so some people would say interference. How often they push back? Did they ever push back? What was the relationship? How did it work? Also, you're going to recruit now because these players are not the right level. Why didn't you recruit then? Were there players there that you should... Wait, okay, step back. You're technical chair, technical committee, you're the technical advisor. Did you identify any players? Did you scout any players? Were there any players you saw there that you should have known that you didn't know? What was that about? How many players did you personally contact? And can you list those players? Because now we mentioned in Lloyd Kelly and this player and Tyrese. And how many players did you contact in your role as technical chair? And then an advisor that you're going to contact now, you didn't contact then. And why wasn't that noticed then? Did we get complacent? Were we too comfortable? Were we too confident? Were we too arrogant? Why were you bringing some diaspora players so late? Did you have a problem with Peacock? What was the problem? Have you pushed for Cavalier players to be in the national squad? Because right now you're the coach and a conflict is there. What about the conflict of interest? Is that real? Is it perceived? What did FIFA say about conflict of interest? What did the board say about conflict of interest? How can you coach Cavalier, be the technical director for Cavalier, be the sporting director for Cavalier, being the owner of Cavalier, be chair of the technical committee, and then be the coach? I know you're taking a leave of absence from the technical committee chair and the board, but how can you be the coach for Cavaliers in the national team and also own Cavaliers? Not only be the coach, you can coach both teams if there's a process in place. Is there a process in place to say you shouldn't select Cavalier players? How does that work? Have you ever tried to influence any coach's decision ever while you're in the technical director chair? Really? Can you honestly say there has been no interference from the administration in selection or preparation? And why would the New York Times or the Athletic article, which is part of the New York Times, says that there's been interference, and also say that McLaren was told by Haugemson he wouldn't last 2 months. Why would they even say that? Your recent video seems calm, relaxed, extremely confident. Were you that confident before the World Cup qualifiers? But that confidence materialized in failure. So how does that work? So why should we take any confidence from what you're saying now? Oh, Rudolph, I saw you in KLAS. I saw Omar Fowler on CVM. I now see you here. Are you using this video and this interview to reshape or repair your public image, which has been damaged because of the collapse? Why did you address your own failures during this discussion we just had? Your own failures, you seem to cast over them and say everybody should say the failure, but you are the main man. Your name comes up. When the coach was talking about who hired him, he talked about Rudolph. So you're the main party here. It's not the president, who we know is an absentee president. Why didn't you indicate or become clear to the public and transparent about your failure? Are you trying to distance yourself from decisions made under your technical direction as part of the group? How many assistant coaches are coming back? Are you the only person returning from the failed regime that didn't qualify for the World Cup automatically? You're coming back. Is Miran Gordon coming back? Is Trevor Sinclair coming back? Are any of those individuals coming back? Or just you alone? How come you're alone, a Teflon Don, and didn't get any pain or failure from this? Where's the technical report on this whole debacle? When are we going to get some kind of report to the public about what transpired, how the coach was evaluated, or is it all done internally? Was there a report prepared after the Unity Cup, after the Gold Cup, after the BVI Cuba game, St. Vincent game? Did we put a report on the coach on what he's doing? Did they bring you into the technical advisor role because they didn't have confidence in the coach? And if so, why didn't you just fire him? Give me a role in the collapse. Do you think it was appropriate for you to be appointed interim coach? Were other coaches, qualified coaches, considered? Why weren't you? And if they were, why were you chosen ahead of them? Is it because you're just going local? You want a local coach, and you're supposed to be the best local coach? Why is that? Why you didn't consider Theodore Whitmore? He's gone to the Gold Cup semifinal. He's gone to the Gold Cup. I think he went to a final, if I'm not mistaken. He has the international experience. Why even consider him? Do you understand why fans see your appointment as a conflict of interest and not digestible, given the failure of the soup zone that we were in? How do you convince Jamaica you're not benefiting from your own technical decisions? What criteria do you use to evaluate players in general, local players or diaspora players? What recruiting mechanism has the JFA put in place under your leadership as technical chair to be easily identify players who may be local or of Jamaican citizenship or Jamaican history, diaspora heritage that we can pursue? And how does that process work? Why does it seem like we're so reactive versus proactive? Why should fans believe you can succeed now under tough conditions when you didn't do so in the soup qualifiers? You mentioned in your interview that players are all versed now in different way of playing. And you just need a couple of sessions to do something. What does that mean? We are all told that you need time with players to impart how you want to play and how you want to operate. So how would that work if you don't have much time? You only have 2 days when Congo has a whole African Nations Cup to playing, and they've been playing together for a while now. And they have players playing at a high level. Congo is stronger than us. And you mentioned something about we have beaten teams ahead of that have been ranked higher than us. And that has happened in the past. Well, what we should be confident is going to happen now. You have less preparation time than you've had before. How does it increase your chance for success, or does it lessen it? What can you accomplish in a few days or a few months that the program hasn't accomplished in the last God knows how long? If the structure was broken during qualifier, how are you going to fix it now? If you ain't got no money, because you say you're broke, how you make some of these decisions? How are you going to travel to go meet? What's the thought about go meeting players? You're going to stay in Jamaica and do White Scout? Like the coach, or you're going to be on a plane traveling? And if you're going to be on a plane, where you get money to go on a plane? Are you suggesting that you're the missing piece? And if so, why you step in the role early as coach if you think the coach wasn't doing a good job? Or you want to retire so we don't have to resign so we don't have to pay him no money? Is that again like Hogrimson? When he resigned, we could have hold out and make some money off of Ireland, but we let him leave. I know the coach resigned, so it saves us money. Is that why you didn't fire him? Why should fans trust your optimism when your previous optimism translate into failure, not good results? And also, Rudolph, isn't this playoff situation no loss scenario for you? If you win, you're a hero. Can't talk to you. Them can give you a Mount Rushmore. If a Mount Rushmore, you get statue. And if you lose, Congo better than we. So we expect to lose. If you lose to Caledonia, you take some risk. But if you beat Congo, or if you lose to Congo, we expect to lose to Congo. They have a bunch of European players and excellent players. And what evidence can you give Jamaica? You're the right man for the fix. So don't talk about no Caribbean accomplishment. What's your evidence to substantiate you're the right person to achieve the goal of going to the World Cup when we had a soup zone, as some Lucky Sharp man said? We had a soup zone, and we feel nice soup zone. We had teams ranked much lower than us. We couldn't beat, and will beat us. We go play one team, if we beat New Caledonia, that's much higher ranking than us, have players athletic as we are, better than we are. Why do you think we're going to beat them? And what in your history suggests, because you say you don't feel much, but you feel, we just see a recent failure. We don't know about the rest of your life. Losing to Cincinnati 6-love, is that failure? Losing to Inter Miami 4-love, is that failure? Losing to Curacao, is that failure? Curacao going to the World Cup 7, is that failure? Huh? I'm confused. You fire somebody like Donaldson, who's been successful, or international coach. Did you consider Donaldson for the job, or is he toxic to the JFF? Like, let me just say this about the traditional media in Jamaica. I don't even know what to say to you guys, because I get the sense, based on what Lucky Sharpman said one time about the YouTubers, when diss them, him not go the JFF conference, got him man that take up all the place. And yet when I hear YouTubers talk and are challenging, they're much more insightful, much more thoughtful, much more aware, much more informed than traditional media. Traditional media in Jamaica make YouTubers look like genius. It's sad. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you go to the World Cup. And I tell you this, people. When you fail to plan well, you plan to fail. And the JFL was arrogant in the World Cup process, and they come back to bite them, and you know what? Arrogant in the process. The recruiting was awful. It was poor. The execution was poor. There was no strategy. The execution was awful, including recruiting. The coaching selection was awful. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't stress too much about this, because we just should just accept mediocrity and failure as normalized. Romain says, so Cranky, Speed told us at all time there should be a certain amount of local footballers should be in the squad, but now you're the coach, you want overseas players. Well, I think, I don't even know what to say about that, people. I told you that Rudolph was going to recruit overseas players, because Rudolph wants to win. No, I saw the national. I've talked about the nationalist thing already. Yeah, I mean the national in the traditional sense does that. But I think one would also say before the game that maybe the nationalist means that I want to win and support the country at all costs, not be an isolationist, but one whereby I want to do the best for the country and what's in the country's best interest. But nationalists forget to tell people sometime or be informed about the fact that it's always about them and then the country, not the country first. I'm sorry. It's not how nationalists work. Where's the quota that Speid spoke about? Every other coach was. No, I think he's always said that the national team doesn't have any quota. It's the junior teams that have quota. But the national team have quota. It's just not explicit. I don't think there should be. I think there should be only one local player in the starting 11 in March, and that's the goalkeeper. Period. One local player. And people can beat me all they want to. When I look at the team, and people like Bobby Reed and John, so the people be clear, we should have no Pinnock, no Lembakisa, no Holgate, no Russell, no Bobby Reed. All them feel. Gotta go. Who would I keep? In terms of starting 11, only one locally born player would be in the starting 11, period. The rest of the team would be overseas born player. And that overseas born player have to go. Sorry. Gotta go. Can't use you. I don't think he only wants overseas players. I think what he's saying is that he wants the best players. That's what he's saying. I don't think he says he wants overseas players. I think he wants just one of the best players. And you know the best players come from overseas. They're not local. Now everybody pushing for Stewart. All I hear nowadays is Trevante Stewart. And yes, he's doing well in Israel. Israel is ranked 40-something in terms of leagues globally, and about 21 in Europe. I know people say 16, 21 in Europe. So you gotta go past the League One and EPL and German League and Spanish League and Belgium League, and you gotta go way down. Maybe you go to the Norway League and the Denmark League to go find who's 21. Come on, people. We're acting like Stewart is playing at this high enough league to justify the uproar I'm hearing about him being selected. He went to Syria, didn't do well. He went overseas, he's doing well. It's a good thing. Should he get called? He should be considered. But don't make it seem like he's going to be the elixir. Keenan Davis should be considered. He's scoring goals in Syria, which is one of the top 5 leagues in the world. I don't think Ravel getting called, by the way. I think there's a coaching consensus that Ravel is not worth the trouble. So I don't think Ravel is getting called. Based on what I know, I don't think he's getting called. Would he get called? I hope so, but I don't think he's getting called. But then I would assume that Cody's going to help Rudolph in identifying players. But he was coaching over in the Middle East, probably in a similar league. He's coaching a reserve team. So Ravel can't be no worse. If the coach is coaching a reserve team, even though it's a pro license, Ravel played in a bush league. Ravel better than anybody we have in the midfield. Anybody we can go find, he better than all of them. As I said before, if he's on the beach and his big belly, he's better than them. Not everybody agrees, but hey, that's why we have different opinions. Nah, they all gotta go. You can find better players. The kid that played with Speid, the kid that plays with the kid that plays at St. Mirren, what's his name? Freckleton, with King is Jamaican heritage. He's starting. King is not starting. King starts when the other center back gets hurt. He's not starting. King is starting. He can play instead of King. Lloyd Kelly, difficult pursuit. Have paper problem. Not sure if that's going to work. He's Jamaica heritage. Mason Clark, Ephraim Mason Clark, who plays for Coventry, plays left wing, should be considered. I heard Mundle, who's on the bench for Sutherland, but has Jamaican heritage. He's not a starter. I know Cameron Archer, been going around for a while, play for Southampton. He can play center forward and winger should be considered. There's a bunch of player people. Problem we don't have is not here a lot of midfielders. There's this kid that plays center half for Marseille, should also be considered. Doesn't start every game, and his name is eluding me now, but he should be considered. We should still consider bringing back, because he wasn't tainted as much, the kid from Brentford. We should bring in Denzel Hall. We should bring in Max Aarons, because Lembakisa to me is not getting enough game time to be even considered. And it's a difficult campaign. All the people who fail, I ain't bringing them back, most of them. I ain't bringing back 90% of them. Reece Nelson is always injured. He ain't coming over here. Reece is always injured, people. Reece is a very good footballer, but he's always injured. Reece hasn't played a game all year. That I see anyway. Jonathan Rowe has his papers, but I don't think Jonathan Rowe is considered in Jamaica. My understanding is that I don't think Omar Hutch is considered in Jamaica, so we shouldn't think about him. No, I'm not calling no more name, but we'll get passport. Because the last time I called name, we get beaten. After me have my source tell me about names and who the names are and who we should call. And I come out here with my bright self. I talk about all these names, and then people, I talk about this, where the 5 players you talked about. Where's 5 players? I'm not calling name. When them come through, we can talk about them. Nelson played this weekend. I didn't watch Fulham. He did. If Nelson wanted to come, he would have come. And I'll push for them player there. If Nelson want to come, he'll come. He come to Jamaica, come visit. People get excited. Just like Dujan Sterling went to Jamaica. Dujan Sterling should be considered to it right back. We have a bunch of players, people. We can come up with 50 names of people who should be considered. Question, do they want to play? And yet we can't find on the midfielders. And we come with 50 pure wingers and defenders. Like our heritage people don't play midfield. I can't think of 4 midfielders apart from Tyrese and Daniel Johnson and Revel recycled that we can consider. Yeah, we can consider tons of wingers, tons of forwards, tons of defenders. Center half, right back, left back. People like Jonathan Rowe, Tyreek Mitchell, if they want to come, they would have come. They don't. I don't think they want to come. Some players, Egan Riley was the one I was thinking about. Yeah, he's a player we should be considering and pursuing. But no, Ireland is in the playoff. Maybe it's easier. But Egan Riley we should be thinking about, along with Lloyd Kelly in the center half. Our center halves are not good enough. Our defense is not good enough. Dwight McNeil doesn't want to come. People told me they've spoken to him, not considering it. People don't understand that it's a burden for some players to travel that far, far away from home and come to play for the country. No appreciate them. Who say them to go back at them yard? Who say them a reject? Some players don't want to go through that. You still okay with your Arsenal bringing back players but not Jamaica currently? Arsenal is leading the Premier League. Jamaica is on life support trying to get to the World Cup. Not comparative, Conrad. Not comparative. Yeah, no, he's not one to play for Jamaica. Yeah, they talked about Ben Johnson for a while. I didn't hear about his papers being submitted. I know that's been discussed, but it's a lot of players, people with Jamaican heritage. A lot. Good night. Who was this speaking?
Blessings, Cranky. A parish council, man.
Parish council, long time. How you doing?
Yes, man. Well, obviously, we're not doing so well.
What you have to say, parish council?
Not doing so well at all. Before me share my story still, Cranky, are we having a conversation about new players coming into the team?
Yes. Yes, of course. We need to have that conversation.
And it's at this point, is that a serious consideration?
Well, I mean, the ones you had failed in an easier zone, didn't they? You gotta get better players.
Well, Cranky, come on. I mean,
Parish council.
That to me is
parish
like
council. Parish council. We were probably the worst. Of the 4 teams in the zone, in terms of performance, we were 3rd. Curacao was better than us. Trinidad was better than us. The points total may not tell you that. On the field play told you that. We're not good enough.
Yeah, but this is not a new campaign.
It is a new campaign.
It's not a new World Cup campaign.
It is. It is. People, we feel like the old one, a new campaign. We have 2 games to World Cup. We're not carrying we're not carrying nobody. Nobody we're not carrying.
So are you prepared? Because I see a lot of times as outsiders, obviously outside, we're not integral in the actual team.
Right.
It is very easy for us to sit and say, oh, get rid of Shamar, get rid of this, get rid of. But realistically, we have a maximum of 2 games, limited amount of time. I'm assuming the players must be feeling some type of way. And we can always talk about the party with them party and whatever. But collectively, I'm wanting to believe that there must have been a conversation among themselves. Persons may have expressed disappointment and also expressed the willingness to try and redeem themselves. So in my estimation, despite me not agreeing with Speid and the whole shenanigans, because at this point, Cranky, me I tell you, it's like the finish line up the road and I can't crawl over the finish line. I feel exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, years we go at this, Cranky. Years within this maybe one good 4 years now, I go at it, Right? But me feeling of myself. Yeah, hear me, General?
I'm listening.
Oh, yeah, man. Me a feeling of myself said that the players collectively must now at least be prepared to try and redeem themselves. I mean, there's nothing to redeem.
So you know what? I would love to run Tesla, but I don't think I have the capability to run Tesla. So I may be all encouraged. I may want to do it. I may have all the desire to do it, but I just don't have the capability to do it. I'm not good enough.
And it might require a different leader to run it and just stop being naive and think say you can't manage it.
Right, but at least you got to give yourself the best chance. When people don't listen to Rudolph, and Rudolph said, he might bring in new coaches, he might bring in people who think qualified enough to help him, and he's going to bring in new players to help him. He's leaving no. He might give himself the best chance to win, and he should have done that before, which is sad actually.
Mr. Speid like to say a lot of things to sound and look good, you know. I realize that, the optics, it means a lot about the optics. And then especially when he's being interviewed by I wouldn't even call them, they're not journalists. And I call and ask somebody this the other day, is there a difference? And Cranky, you may know. Is there a difference between a broadcaster, a reporter, and a journalist?
No, they're all in the same vein. Depends. They all can be one and the same.
What about an investigative journalist? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I mean, like any discipline, you may have different skill sets, right? You may be the one who read the news, but you don't have the investigative skills. Investigative journalist probably is more trained. It's like you have a forensic accountant versus one who just prepare books and records. Yeah. You will have certain skill sets you have developed either by experience or being taught that you can leverage to do certain jobs. So if you're an investigative journalist, you're going to know what to go look for and how to search and get information versus somebody who is good in front of the camera and just read the news.
Yeah. I think we're asking reporters to be investigative journalists. And if they are not equipped to do that, then as you find that he's a lot more comfortable being in those spaces where he can just, explore a lot of things.
No, I think they're just compromised. I don't think it has to do with their ability to ask the right question. They're just compromised. They don't want to affect the relationship because they want the interview, because he creates, look, Rudolph Speid generates views, as is happening today. He generates views. He knows this. They know this. They have programs to run. They need to get continuous access. When he becomes coach, they're going to need access to him and be able to bring him in and ask questions and generate the views. Because views, you got to supply your sponsorship. They pay you for views.
Exclusive interview with the head coach.
Yeah. So they have to do what they have to do.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Cranky. Right now, at this point, I'm not even too worked up about this Rudolph Speid thing. Obviously, I'm not in agreement with it because I think he's one of the main contributors, and him bob and weave and try to, get himself out of the blame a lot of times. So I'm in agreement with it, but at the same time, I don't believe we should be looking to start a new campaign. So
here's the question, Carla. You know that
said it.
Yeah, but Curacao was recruiting up until the last window. The 11 players that started against us, none of them were born in Curacao. Not one of them. And if the kid they brought in from Dortmund came in late, even though he didn't start the game against us. He plays for Dortmund. I'm sure he get more time in the World Cup. Everybody's recruiting except us because we have too much people to recruit, and we are in our feelings about local versus overseas. And most people don't care. They just want to win because they understand it means when you win, you get the acclaim and the resources that come with it. And why did we do this recruiting on a full-fledged basis before we got to this point where we're in desperation? When we had that soup zone and we're all? We know the team wasn't good enough. Teams struggle against BVI. Teams struggle against Cuba. Teams struggle in the Gold Cup. It's not new.
Yeah.
This should have been done a long time ago.
But I mean, Cranky, may have this conversation already about metrics, or should I say, a certain grade of player that should automatically make the team, and a next grade of player will maybe up for consideration. And we continue to find players who are just not at that standard. Like they are not no-brainers. We don't see players that we can say no-brainer. Bring him come. Absolutely. Top class. We're not attracting those type of players.
Well, I think we haven't done the best job of creating an environment where the players want to come into that environment and be successful. We haven't. That's part of the problem we face.
The current ones that we have now are the ones that we should be attracting.
The ones that we have now, a lot of them are not getting it. The problem is the thing, they're not getting playing time at their clubs. You can't use the national team as a place to get playing time. National teams are not the place you're supposed to come get playing time, people. Just what your clubs are for. If you're not playing a club, you should be starting for your national team. Period. And most of the players don't start for their club. I can name you 7, 8 players not starting for their club who are in the squad. And maybe 6 or 7 in the starting 11 who are not starting for the national team, for their club team. That can be good. Look at the club. Look, think about this. Sifa started last game. He barely gets time for his club team. Pinnock barely get time for his club team. Russell barely get time for his club team. King get game time here and there. Lambakisa not getting nothing on game time. It becomes chronic after a while. So they're going to play well for your national team and they're not getting no game time at the club team. That's what Speid was talking about, saying you have to be playing against him, can't use you. So he's excluding a bunch of players who not getting game time with the club team.
It's funny how vision for the national team change, you know. But man, I tell you something, Cranky. When on the game, which I know it happened a couple of weeks ago, but a lot of people have testimonies in a hand. If we had one, I think documentaries would have been created, you know, for people experience and or them reach at the match or them get in what happened the week prior and all of them things. I mean, I tell you, me do 2 jobs, you know, in America, you know the rule.
Yeah, try to get rich and buy the house quick on the house and the car and everything.
Up here, I do my thing and dep on the job in hours a night, Cranky, and watch a match on the work. The type of work I do, you don't know me can use my phone and thing. And I tell you, say we lose, and I'm so depressed. So I reach home because I have a son who play ball, you know, I'm 10. Love the football, but obviously me never there home. So his mother, you know, she never really watch the match. So he end up drop asleep. Imagine, you know, the next morning was school morning, you know. You know, when you have youth now wait for go to school at morning time and you have to go wake up your youth, don't it? For the most part.
Yeah, for a lot of times, yeah.
The son wake me up the morning, you know, Cranky. Come at the room and wake me up and say, Daddy, we are got to work up. I mean, I tell you, say, Cranky, you know, when the man said that to me, come like, when a youth ask to be something for eat, I can't find it to give, you know. I was so, me feel so, you know, normally in the early morning, you get up, you kind of feel, in the blues, because I say, boy, Johnny, I have to go up on the work and thing. And that was like, I call it the final straw. You know the feeling there?
Yeah.
And I look up on the youth, and I say, I can't tell him, say, Tyler, boy, we don't qualify, you know. And the man just look sad and walk away. And I said, that is a 10-year-old, you know. That 10-year-old Latina Cranky. So I think a lot of these players and administration understand what them do to the generation, you know, Cranky.
Yeah, but here's my view on that, Parish Council. I think the players did their best, you know. But some of them are just not good enough. They did their best. Even the ones who went partying, they're just not good enough. Some of them just not good enough. I think we're failing to realize that. Like, sports is about winners and losers. And these players, some of them have won in their lives and they do their best out there. I think they did their best. They're just not good enough, some of them. They're not good enough to what was required. That's all it is. They tried their best, they played their best, but we don't seem to realize they're just not good. That's why we have to get reinforcement. They don't have the skill set that we need to get us over the line. And we're going to try to do it against a Congo team, which is recruiting also.
Where are we going to source this skill set to qualify in our tournament that does not have USA, Canada, or Mexico?
That ain't happening again. This was the last time we're going to have that. So in our lifetime, at least in my lifetime, we know ain't going to no more World Cup. Unless we do a better job.
He's a versatile man, you know. He's a man to speak about a lot of topics and things. And, you know, I listen to you and things. And me going to say to link management one away over there and I say, boy, management, we need some, what you call it now, men empowerment program. Where man can call in and, you know, share experience with a little button them get our little hardship or they might try to find them way in life.
Yeah, turn it to something. Why call it Shababa? What's that program is?
somewhere where us men can speak. You understand? Because you know a lot of us as men don't have that platform unless there's some WhatsApp group where you can reason with a virgin and things like that. Because me think a lot of us reach a stage right now, Cranky. Trust me, especially with this situation and of course Hurricane Melissa, a lot of people in a dark place, you know, Cranky, and we feel like we need to create an environment where we can release some of the stress them about. Can I tell you the truth?
Well, look, it's always good.
Right now. I mean, I suffer in a life. I mean, I tell you, mentally, me just feel depressed about this whole situation. May I be very honest with you?
Yeah, and look, I we have to understand this, right? Which is the party most responsible for the failure is the one that's deemed to be that's least accountable. The most culpable party is the one that's exhibited least accountability and want to push it off to other people. So the JFF and its administration, because sometimes they think they know what good looks like and they don't. They don't know what good looks like, but they think they do. And you'll get things from people who say, oh, they want to think them smart than everybody else and they want to do something, this and that. And you watch them and you observe how they operate and you just sit there, watch them and just think, they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand what excellence entails and how to achieve excellence. And then they want to tell you that you're the problem and you're toxic and you don't know what you're talking about. And you have observed these things and you're sitting there thinking, nobody can be like that. That's not possible. What are we doing? And then there's some look at man at the corner and look at man have more influence and look at man I tell them what to do. I encourage them and them do them thing. And when them fail, they don't admit them at the failure. Them everybody accept themselves. It's not a good look.
Not even call a press conference with the president and all of the various board members, an official press conference to speak about what happened, and take out. But
the thing, yeah. So here's Paris comes. Here's what's interesting, everyone. Here's what's really interesting. You would think that the supported guardian, the guardian of the team and the country and the public would be the media, and the media would be angry and they'd be looking for somebody to crucify because somebody got to take the blame. That's how human beings are. And they would be, when they're interviewing anybody from the JFF, they'd be calling for the JFF to come out and they want to come pepper them with questions and go through every single thing because blame has to be assigned. What do the media do? Just kiss ass 24/7 of the same people who should be blamed for it. The media is reprehensible when it comes to this. I can't think of a better word. Like you sit there, listen to people and you're just like, what? Really? Hey, you think if Rudolph Speid was in the media, they could get away with it? If the media was Rudolph Speid and reverse, Rudolph would be coming after them. Meanwhile, if you're Rudolph would go after them and totally annihilate them.
So Cranky, let me ask you another question. Have you made any contact with management since subsequent to this campaign?
No. Not during our subsequent, no.
So you don't have any insight as to his take on what transpired, because remember he's and we're very disappointed in the management. I mean, I tell him personally, he's our spokesman because I think the YouTube space he was awarded a position in the setup of the JFF or I could say the Reggae Boyz team due to the influence of YouTube, whether we like it or not, or whether he want to accept it or not, I think they looked at the pool of YouTubers and they said Manningsman seems to be the best pick. And he was and of course, no, I want to say Simon, because I think Simon would have been prior, but Manningsman. So he would have been our spokesman or representative from the YouTube space, And I mean, I hear from him yet, which is kind of disappointing to some extent. So I just wonder if you hear from him still.
No, I haven't heard from him actually. So I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Okay. So me have to call him out. Yeah, man, we have to go draw management from under bed. But you don't know, Cranky. Personally, as I say, my last thing, I don't think we should be seeking to change up the team at this point. You know what I mean? I think I would want to see these players come back out and show some level of remorse, some level of fight, some level of something for what they have done to the Jamaican people. And I think it would have been an injustice to us for us to now use new players and possibly be criticizing these new players when we had players prior who put us in this position in the first place.
Well, I say a couple things. Paris Council, so you and I agree to disagree on what we should do going forward. I say a couple things. One is, I think all the players who participated want to go to the World Cup. I don't think they sabotage anything. I think they just weren't at the level they need to be to get us there. If you don't have the right tools to get the job done, you got to get new tools or enhance your tools. And I don't understand why people don't realize that the tools we have weren't sufficient to get us over the line, so we got to get new tools. Now, the tools to me cuts across the entirety spectrum of the football: administration, coaching, and players. The administration stays intact, do what they do. The coaching's left. The players will get changed. The root cause of the problem, which is administration, remains intact. So if your root cause if your root cause of your problem is not fixed, you're fixing the symptom. Means you're fixing around the edges. You're not fixing the root cause. You're gonna have problems going forward.
Continue to share the problem, them about that. Them man are not going. Them man are not having enough righteousness. I don't mean for the right word. If you put up them man and say, gentlemen, I think we should step aside. I don't think that they don't have that in them. They do not have that in them.
You can't be a nationalist and don't want to sacrifice yourself for your country.
Yeah. So I think we should look away from that. And I think that will give us some peace of mind. Because and even Mr. Speid said it on program, say, listen, we're not going to step aside. It's a voting process. When the next election comes, we don't vote. The nation is not voting. So people, I see people in Congress in the US resigning before their time is up. Marjorie Taylor Greene just resigned from her role of representing her constituent. You can resign before your time is up. Say you're not giving up the role. Don't say you're not a nationalist. If you're a nationalist, you would resign. You're not a nationalist. Let's conflate that term nationalist with what a nationalist entail. If you're a nationalist, uses that word a lot, that word a lot,
No, nationalist. We don't know what nationalist means.
Their definition of it is something.
You may aspirationally want to do well in Parish Council. You may want to do well. We all want to do well in life in the Parish Council. But sometimes I don't have the skill to do well. I'm out of my depths.
That is true. That is very true.
Right? So people don't seem to realize that. You may be a nationalist in the traditional sense. You may want to do well, but you have to realize when you're not good enough to do well. And say, let me leave it to somebody else who can try because I've failed. That's all I got to say.
But how are you going to realize that if the people around you keep telling you that you are the man?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Even if I doubt myself, when I put up my hand and say, guys, feel like I'm gonna step on, I say, no, man, you're mad, general, man, you are the man for this. And him say, boy, I wouldn't say if you stay in, so I'm gonna stay and try. You understand what I say?
Yeah, man, I hear you. Yeah. All right, sir.
But you don't know, cranky. Go and bless up yourself, man.
Bless up, Parkstone. Thanks for the call. Yeah. So I see someone in the chat talking about the Jamaican media has criticized Jay over the years. They want to get sued. Get sued for what? Get sued for calling out your failure at the World Cup. You were poor. Get sued by asking questions that are penetrative. Nobody's saying that you're corrupt. We're talking about getting sued. We have. Let me drink some water. These moronic comments just get under my skin, people. So because the politicians in Jamaica write some draconian defamation law, you can ask questions that are incisive, that are gonna go to the core of what people want to know. You should just. So why are we having any media interviewing anybody? Don't interview anybody then. If you're gonna get sued for anything that you say, like what color you like, if that's the defaming you, because that's what color you like, because it's been interpreted a certain way, why are we doing it? Brain drain. I'm not even putting that up. Brain draining. Why you put up the meaning brain drain? That'd be better. The questions do not engender good conversation. They don't. The questions do not provide transparency. Are not trying to achieve transparency. Reggae Boyz Blogger can't call in because we know who he is. Hey, Reggae Boyz Blogger, the phone number is on the screen. I dare you to call in, you wimp. He's a wimp. All he does is go in the chat and make comments. He can't call in because he's camouflaged. These people are hiding and creating and have a sense of anonymity. And so they want to. I'm not putting up any more of your comments, Reggae Boyz Blogger. You can. I told you this. When you decide to become a man and stop being a wimp, we can have the conversation. Otherwise, we're not having the conversation. If I was in Jamaica, I can say anything I want to say because what I say is not defaming anybody. I could say, but you know what? I'm also not looking at any friends. I'm not looking to get into anybody's good graces. So I can say what I want to say. Yeah, Paul is not a terrible person, you know. Paul is just misinformed. Or he just, yeah. Paul is people, we can't all be the same. Yeah. Only brain drain. Only brain drain. Hey, brain drain, I want you to disclose yourself at some point. Isn't that amazing? Why didn't we have that same perception, perspective before? Not perception. Why didn't we have the same view before? Why weren't operating the same vein? If we're gonna get so tough now, people, when you're trying to achieve a goal, it has to be clear what your strategy is. I have no what the strategy was to achieve World Cup goal, especially given the poor performance we had in the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup gave us all the clue about where we were. I don't think Rudolph should have got the role as coach because he was part of the failure. Rudolph may not like me saying that, but it's true, Rudolph. I know you're watching. You shouldn't have gotten the role because you're part of the failure. You can't absolve yourself from the failure because you went in knowing, I'm sure the reason you get the technical advisor role, the only reason you have done that is the Gold Cup failure. You say, you know what? I'm going to try to make sure we qualify. But you're part of the failure. You still went to the World Cup qualifiers with 5 midfielders. Still went to the Gold Cup with 2 midfielders. You still went there with players who not getting no football time. Players who can't make a pass. Players who can't control the ball. Like, seriously. We didn't do the recruiting. We have no system for recruiting people. No well-defined system for recruiting players. None. Players complain about even in the interview we saw with Hayden and Bell being interviewed and then providing their view about Greenwood coming in. Like they should be saying, Hayden, you and Bell for shut up. We don't say nothing, kind of feel. We don't have nothing about nothing. People, if you're part of the current squad, you make the World Cup qualifiers, we don't really want to hear from you. You feel, yes, you're committed, Hayden, and I like you as a player. Yes, you have a fly how much 9 hours come. And you hinted that things weren't all smooth. Either you or Bell hinted, one of them hinted, that things are not all smooth, which means there are things you don't like, but you don't answer nothing. I understand why you don't say anything. Right? Cranky speaking like there's 100 competent people that will take over. We wouldn't know. We don't know. If you don't do interview, you go no brain drain. If you don't do interview people, if you're I actually would have speed this question way back when. I said to Rudolph, you have to have succession planning when you're involved in what you're involved in. You should have about 10 coaches in your Rolodex. I mean, not Rolodex in your phone, wherever you want to have them. Rolodex out of date. And you should be constant having communication with different coaches, their situation, where they are. Because some coaches may be coaching, some may not be coaching. You have to have a list of coaches and they're hierarchical in terms of who you're going to pursue if something goes wrong. It's called contingency planning, succession planning. We had none of that. But we have some hope. Or maybe we had a planning where it is Rudolph take over when things fail. Maybe that was the plan. Because Rudolph been hinting on this on Sportsmax for a while now. I think I have the interview that I saw the other day where he's been hinting at this. But if that was the case, Rudolph, why didn't you take over earlier? Because the coach was failing. We could see that. Right? We could see that. So if you're going to take over now, why you take over before? We're failing in the World Cup qualifiers. People, when you beat what we beat BVI? What, 1-0? When you go St. Vincent, then struggle with St. Vincent should have lose the game. The last minute penalty that Warner Brown got. When you go to the Gold Cup and you embarrass yourself against Guatemala, embarrass yourself against Panama, should have lost to Guadeloupe. Don't know how you didn't lose because Blake saved us. There is enough evidence to say this is not going to work. If I was a JFF, I wouldn't give a damn about the current squad. I wouldn't. They failed. And Reggae Boyz react to what the hell your name is. You can say what the hell you want to say. The current squad failed. Failed in what was considered to be the easiest zone in the history of football. They failed miserably. Current players have nothing to say. Nothing. Shut up and hope you get called. You should have nothing to say. If you can't qualify from this zone, you can't qualify. All the other zones, people in all the other countries were more difficult than this one. Maybe Oceania. We don't know about Oceania when New Caledonia come through. All the other zones were much easier. The Suriname zone, the Costa Rica didn't make it, people. It was so difficult. And we didn't qualify. And we want to talk about people's feelings. As I said, the players tried. Some of them are not good enough. I could try. They're not playing at their clubs. They're not playing no football. The national team is their only recourse. It's the only way to get some game time. Yeah, I mean, Jack Drummond, the point is taken, but we can provide our view, right? He's interviewing. What Rudolph hasn't done well is taking accountability for what transpired. Rudolph is trying to deflect. And I'm sorry, Rudolph, that's not okay. You were a core component of the failure to get to the World Cup. You've been assigned. You need to take. Why we lack accountability, people? I don't like that, actually. You know, when I used to have my staff, even when they do something wrong, I would always put my head on the block and say, "It's my fault," because they work for me. They work for me. The buck stops with me. It's my fault. If you take it up from there, when I got to get change or someone got to get changed, I own it. Wasn't often, but I own it. DJ Geek said, "You're a friend, them." Wow, you hear that? As I told you guys, if I was friends with a lot of people you guys say I'm friends with, I would want to be their enemies. What does that mean, Big Ed? I'm confused. Big Ed, what does that mean? Big Ed, I don't understand. What does that mean? I know people think I've been told that it came back to me that people say I'm toxic when it comes to my perspective on things. But what I wanted to do is point out where I'm saying something which is either not accurate or from an opinion standpoint doesn't make any sense. And then we can have the conversation. For somebody to come on here and talk about I'm defaming people, as Reggae Boy Rector was saying, you might I sue you for defamation. Huh? You talk about defamation. You also let me sue you for defamation. Let me sue you for defamation. In America, we have more latitude about that. There's First Amendment right, people. You can say things about people. So long as it's not malicious, you can say things. It's not like the politicians in Jamaica trying to protect themselves. So they write laws which are draconian and where you can't say a damn thing. And where you can be sued, if somebody comes on your program and says something defamatory, you can be sued. It's like the most ludicrous laws in the history of mankind. But they want to protect themselves and what they do. So they do that. So, Jack Drummond, where was the plan before, Jack Drummond? Where was the plan before? Why are we doing a reactive planning versus proactive planning? Isn't that part of the problem, Jack Drummond? We're doing the planning now. Why weren't all stones left unturned prior to now? That's the question people have, you know. Why wasn't all stones left unturned and we make maximum effort in all way, shape, and form to qualify? Why are we doing all this reactive stuff now? Yeah, we, woulda, coulda, shoulda, as they say. We didn't make it. And we have no good reason why we didn't make it. Can't rewrite history. Now, Rudolph won't be happy with me, but he knows I just speak it from my mind. And it's not being malicious. I'm not saying anything untruth. We're asking for transparency, Rudolph. And those who are interviewing, you know what? Media in Jamaica, don't interview Rudolph. Don't interview nobody. No, stop it, man. No, stop it. I'm not getting nauseous now. To make people want to throw up when I interview people and appear look at softball questions and ask. Not ask no penetrative questions. Nothing. I'm gonna beat that word again. Not ask no questions, which is gonna what people want to know. Stop using the word brain drain. It's giving me a hard time about it. You're not asking any questions which people want to know the answers for. You're asking questions which are throwaway questions. Nobody wants a throwaway question. So people, you hear this moron and I chat people, I thought I was a bit panicky. Never seen question about Arteta. Arteta ain't win nothing in 6 years. People get fired for this time and that. I'm panicky. We are in the last stage of a World Cup qualifier. We're playing a better team than we played before. We got knocked out by Curacao, who have about 2 people in them country. And you have the audacity to come in the program and chat your nonsense. Man, come off my program, man. Come off my program. I don't mind people who have contrary view to me, but come off with the nonsense, man. I don't know why you come at the program. Just come get on people's skin. JFF must send you. A JFF spy? Come say your nonsense? Eh? Are you a JFF spy? Come on by program, man. Nobody don't want you. Go away. As the little sharp man said, go away. Go away, we don't want you. You're not adding any value. All you're doing is being a JFF mouthpiece. We don't want a JFF mouthpiece here. Because then we are beat. They're the ones who cause people so much harm and grief with their poor strategy and poor planning and poor execution. People, please think about this. We failed against teams ranked way below us. Way below us. We failed against teams who were inferior to us. We were the third best team in the zone. And now we're going to do all this great planning and we're confident we're going to qualify? Where I try to tell people, master? They call them gangster keyboard idiots. I'm cursing the players. The players were not good enough. What is so difficult in that? They weren't good enough. They were good enough. They would have made the World Cup. They weren't good enough. Like, what's so hard about that, people? What's cursing? Which player did I curse? Which player did I curse? Reggae Boyz reactor. Which player did I curse? Tell me the player I cursed. I said the players are not good enough. If you're good enough, you'd have made a World Cup. You didn't. That's not rocket science. Everybody saw how we played in the qualifiers. It's not like you played better than the team and you didn't make it. You weren't good enough. We are officially listed one of the biggest. We were the biggest failures of the qualifiers. Maybe us and Nigeria. But Nigeria had better competition. We're the biggest failures of the qualifiers. And the only head roll was the man who cut off his own head, which is the coach. Yeah, I have no hope of making the World Cup. Can we qualify? In the laws of probabilities, of course. It's not 0%. What did I say the other day? 5%? Maybe I was overly optimistic. Hey, Big Ed, if you watch my program, you'd have heard that. What players am I keeping? Not too many. I would keep the goalkeeper, one of the goalkeepers, which is Blake. I'm not sure the other two will survive. I would keep Greg Lee and Rico Henry on the right. I'll keep Hayden. I'll probably keep Ian Frey. I would keep Calamarty. Bailey didn't win the qualifier, so Bailey should be included in that number. I'd probably keep Campbell, Cephas, Whisper. But Cephas and Whisper couldn't play in that qualifiers because, I mean, I keep Cephas and Whisper because them break curfew and suspend them. So the 99 number. I'd probably maybe keep Burrell, but it depends on if Keenan Davis decided to come and even if Antonio decided to come back. That's probably it. I'd probably keep Palmer. I wouldn't keep Russell. I wouldn't keep Lembakisa. I wouldn't keep King. Even though the other day I had King in my number, I've changed my mind. I tried to do so. I wouldn't keep Pinnock. I wouldn't keep the two backup goalkeepers. Who else would I keep? I wouldn't keep Dixon. Cephas would be on the bubble, but I need that speed as a sub. Come on. That's probably it. I may keep Campbell, but he's not scoring goals, even though he's getting playing time. Yeah, I mean, Antonio, I may need somebody to go bully them Congo people. If Antonio is fit and playing football and have a team. Right now, he's not playing in a football team. It's November. I need some experienced people going out there and running over people. May not score a goal. But if Keenan Davis decides to come, I'll bring Keenan and Cameron. If I bring Keenan Davis and Cameron Archer, then I only need one more center forward. Not three. I don't need Warner Brown. I don't need Nicholson. I may not need Cadamarty. He's one for the future. I may just bring one. If Cameron Archer and Keenan Davis are ready, I'm bringing them. Most of the other people I'm not bringing. I'm going to go out and get me all the other people I mentioned before. I can't bring the people who failed. I'm sorry. And this whole notion about, you're going to have a new team now. But my old team failed. I need better players. It's like when Arteta came to Arsenal. He fired the entire team. You can't name me 3 players in the squad that was in Arteta's team. That is on the team for Arteta. Apart from Saka, maybe Martinelli. None of the defenders are. None of the midfielders are. Yeah, it's a whole different team. That's 5-6 years. So, yeah, we change the team. We got a chance to do it quicker. We need better players. Egan Riley, if we can get him. Lloyd Kelly, if we can get him. John Stern, if we can get him. Go ask Tyreek Mitchell, even though I don't think he don't want to come. Go get Ravel. Go get Tyrese Hall. Go get Keenan Davis. Go get Mason Clark. Yeah, I'd bring all of them in. I'd probably bring back Leon Bailey. So I have too many wingers too. Some wingers got to get dropped. If I have 6, 7, 8 wingers, some of the old one got to get dropped. But that's just me. I have no loyalty when it comes to trying to, and I don't think any national team have loyalty, people. You guys are here getting all loyalty thing. No national team have loyalty. If when Tuchel picking the England team, you're going to pick the best team you can pick based on who is available. Now, England don't have a bunch of diaspora players to go pick from, but you can pick the best team available. And Rudolph Speid said you don't need much time. Didn't the man say most of the players, them know strategy already? Them know moments and style of play. They don't need no time. You know, I think that's not really true, but yeah. Cranky will be in the squad. Cranky, who else do we have to pass the ball to? Let me say this. If we keep the old players, we will not qualify. First of all, the old players are not getting any game time at their clubs. I repeat this 101 time, people. Peanut not get no game time. King not get a lot of game time. Who will get to play in the Bush League? Lambakis not get no game time. I look at the game time. Who else we have? Low now get no game time. Low now no club. Bobby Reed now play all the time for Leicester. Russell now get no game time. Look at the game time. Who else we have? Dixon now get up a game time. Gibson playing a League 2 for Crawley Town, who are second to last and get no game time. I look at the game time. See if I get look at the game time. Nicholson can't get a portion of game time. After a while, the people is chronic, you know. You can't play football. You're not just not training. There's no game repetition. There's no pressure to perform. When in front of goal, people, practice is not the same as game time. Sorry. You must play me just call up people and just starters. Not get no game time. Nothing go on the bench yet. What not talk about? Nothing go on the bench yet. Even something not get no game time. My name Rico Henry. Not get much game time. As you go down the list, it gets chronic. I don't know that I talk about say them people. They not get no game time. So what difference it make? The national team right now is for development. It's for getting game time. It's a game time team. So we're gonna do comparison. Here's the problem we have people. We have people in the chat who think they're so smart. Especially one person. And they're talking about Costa Rica coming through qualifiers when the qualifiers included Canada, Mexico, and the US. So yes, if they're in if they're in that realm, you can go through qualifiers. This is a different qualifiers. This was a different qualifier. The top 3 teams in the region were not participating. We had the easiest zone ever, and we struggled throughout the entirety of it. Barely get 4 points from Trinidad. Got 1 point from Curacao. Play a Bermuda pickup team. We can't beat no JPL team. And then we want to. And then people have something to say, people. I think Louis Baker got visa paper problems. I don't think we're thinking about Louis Baker. What is Safe Path Solutions? Is someone in the chat? What is Safe Path Solutions? I don't know what that is. Yeah. Look, people. I know some people don't disagree with me, and it's fine to disagree, you know. It's fine to disagree. By the way, I did write an article on Rudolph Speid on my website, you know. That was a good article. I'm going to read it and tell you it's a good article on that. I did write an article on the ssnnlive.com. And subscribe to the channels, people. By the way, I did pass the 6,000. So those of who tell me I only have 2 subscribers, people are coming in. I'm coming slowly but surely. I did pass the 6,000 number, and it keeps going in one direction. So if I'm toxic, that means a lot of people like toxicity. By the way, I did pass 4,000 on my other channel too, which is growing like wildfire. I think I dropped one video for AI, and that went viral a little bit. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So I appreciate you people. Those of you who support the channel, always at the channel, always support the channel. I can't call your name because then I get in trouble. I truly appreciate you. 6,000 on this channel, 40-something on Balance View, and my website is growing slowly but surely. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you, triple 6511 6551, I should say. I appreciate each of you who are supporting the channel. I hear you, big head. But so it's a good thing, people. They grow slowly but surely, and I hope the numbers go in one direction. We need better players, people. Those who don't think we need better players are fooling themselves. We need better players. Now, I have nothing against the players who play for the team. In fact, I've met some of these players. They're good people. They're nice people. All the players I met when I was in Texas, when they were playing in the 2 years ago Nations League, brilliant people. They took pictures with me. They were great people. And so a lot of them are still here. So it's not about me having something against the players. I am just a nationalist. That's all. I'm just a nationalist. I'm a nationalist, people. And nationalists have one obligation. It's about the country and being a national. It's not about anything else. It's not about the individual. It's not about me. It's not about the player. It's about the country. And what's best for the country may not be what's best for the players or what's best for me. It's about the country. And so from where I sit, I don't think a lot of players are at the level they need to be to get us to the World Cup. They failed already miserably in a zone that was as easy as it ever could be. Now, it'd be a different conversation if they qualified. They still were not at the right level that we need to go compete in the World Cup. But at least they would have qualified, so we could say a darn thing. Right now, we're on the outside looking in. We're on the outside looking in, and it's not a good look. And my hope is that people will realize that we cannot qualify for the World Cup with the same team. It doesn't work. We have some very good young players. We have Kadamarti, we have Campbell, we have even Dixon has potential, but they're for the future, a lot of them, not for the current. Sorry. Not for what we're trying to do in 2 games in March. And anybody can see that, fooling themselves. Bless up Jamaica vibes. So I'm going to sign off, people, because it's 9 o'clock and I've been here for 2.5 hours, by saying this. First of all, before you leave, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you don't think I'm too toxic. If you think I'm toxic, you don't have to subscribe. I appreciate each of you who will come to this channel, listen to me, engage with me, teach me, inform me about stuff. And those of you who text me on my what I call it, my channel phone and send me all these videos. Because the only reason I know about Speid, is people get about 4 videos in a succession, saying that he had an interview. That's the only time I know about these things. I don't follow some of these things as well as other people do. So I was unaware. Right? I do get information from like CVM and TVJ and all that, but I was unaware. So I appreciate those of you who text me. Wayne and I start calling them, I get myself in trouble, But a number of you text me. Jaguar text me. Wayne text me. I can't remember who else text me. And they sent me the video. And so that's why I jumped on to have the conversation. And Brain Drain says, I need to be like Rudolph Speid, assist and not insist. So I want to assist Rudolph and the team in getting more players. I don't want to insist that they get players. I guess not going to the World Cup because none of our players are good enough. Well, Safe Path Solutions, you tell me if they were good enough, wouldn't we be in the World Cup? I didn't say none of them. I said we should keep a few of them. So Safe Path Solutions, whoever you are. So you probably remember the JFF because they come under different names all the time, We're not going to the World Cup. Why are we not going? Was it the coach who was bad? And was the coach playing? Huh? Where was the coach playing? Brian, please. Was the coach playing Safe Path Solutions? The path to the World Cup wasn't safe. It's treacherous. Very obvious. Bless up DJ Dreja. The World Cup is in our backyard, but it's far away. I don't think people can sit there and think about the fact that we're going to make the World Cup with this squad. Like, what are we drinking, people? What are we drinking? This is not a playoff like what Trinidad had when they made it in 2006. This is not the same playoff. Play some team from Oceania and you get in. You got to play 2 games. They watered down it in this region for us to get to the World Cup. Our playoffs was the games we had back on the home and away we had in our zone. That was our playoffs, and we failed. Here's some extra playoff we're getting. No, I don't know who the former players are, you know. Well, how are they going to help? How are the former players going to help people? How are they going to help? I'm curious. Are they going to help recruiting? What is it that we're going to do? Like, you know, I gave a blueprint the other day. By the way, people, I just don't come here and talk, you know. Like some people think, you know. Like some people like Reggae Boyz React. I don't come here talking. I gave them a blueprint to follow. If they follow my blueprint, it will increase the probability of them being successful. Follow the blueprint. Go watch my video on the blueprint, people. There are about 7 or 8 things that they need to do with subheadings under them. I would agree with that, DJ. Yeah, Big Ed, don't listen to those fans. They're clueless. Sorry, they're clueless. They live in a different world. They live in a local world. They live in a local world, people. I'm seeing the local players. The names weren't called. I think he mentioned Bibi. Did he mention Bibi Gardner when he was talking about on KLAS? I think he may have mentioned Bibi. Bibi may be there, and who knows? Freddie may be there also. I don't know. Blueprint is madness in Jamaica context. I have never heard a more moronic comment ever. Like, why am I even arguing with this person? Jesus, Lord, it's worse than I thought. This is the epitome of intellect, and the person is clueless. No wonder we have the problem that we do. Jesus. EPL is not like CONCACAF. Some ballers you're promoting will not fit in. Okay. I guess those ballers don't play outside of Europe, I guess. Yeah, I heard somebody mention about we should play games in England. People, let me just set it straight again, because you're not listening, people. You're not listening. We will have 2 days before the first game. It's not a true international window in the traditional sense. Teams will have to people got to get released, but then no team's going to release you between now and March, for example. So I assume you get 2 days before the game. You fly, you rest up, depends on your physical situation. You do some walkthrough and you go play football. The question is, what do you do before you get to the venue? I know what people are talking about. Like, we got to play practice game in England and get team together. Well, no, act like some pickup team. People, the players don't play for some pickup team. And some of the players are spread out. We have people that play in Russia. We have people that play in the US. We have people that play in Mexico. They're spread out. It's like we're not thinking, people. That's not how it work, people. You will have no time to prepare. No time to prepare. None. Ain't nobody fool you. You'll be lucky if you have a day and a half to prepare 2 days. Clubs don't have to release the player before that. It's only a 1 week window, you know. It's not a 2 week window either. Now, based on what I see, games have been played in 2 venues. You play 2 games, probably 2 days apart. You go back to your club team and you're done. It's not a pretty picture. Before the World Cup, we're getting all these players. I only saw Rico Henry. From all the players you're mentioning, we get him. So, okay, so we can go over the players. I said, we're getting Mason Greenwood. He got his passport, decided not to come. I can't control that. So we're getting Max Aarons. He didn't have window to come to Jamaica, and the JFF didn't do a good enough job to get him here because Rangers started playing in the qualifiers in July for the Europa League. So he couldn't get released, so they should have brought him here and then get his papers. They didn't do that. I spoke about Cameron Archer. He was in Jamaica practicing. He worked out with Marlon and them. The man went pleasant. His papers was being processed. They weren't finished process. Who was it I mentioned? That's 4 of the 5. I can't remember the other person. Oh, Tariq Mitchell, who seemed to have lost interest because England seemed to be more interested in him. And he's mentioned in England a lot of times he didn't get no call up. So yeah, those are the 5 players. Kill me, beat me. I mentioned those 5 players. Those are the 5 players. They ain't turn up. I can't control that. Some because of Pika, other because they may have changed their mind or different reasons. Or JFF, the JFF wasn't proactive in recruiting people because they thought they were good enough. And the coach was hesitating at first, saying young players should play for England. Worst hire in the history of Jamaica football. And JFF take no responsibility. 66551. Did you hear Reggae Boyz Reactor say we don't need any blueprint? So what are you talking about having meetings and game strategies? What are you talking about? We don't need any blueprint. You're the man saying the genius, so we don't need any blueprint. Maybe he doesn't know what blueprint means, actually. I think that's the problem. He doesn't know what a blueprint means. Somebody please explain to Reggae Boyz Reactor what blueprint means so they can understand what we're trying to say. We can't throw players in on the field and expect a miracle. We've been doing that for 30 years and failing. I have no idea what you're talking about, BM. I have no idea. Anyway, people, let me go before I get annoyed with some of these people in their comments. Let me just say this. First of all, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. This football journey continues. I'll be doing more programs. People, go watch my video on the lucid gravity that I did when I did that. I posted that last, what was it? I think it was Friday night. No, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. One says, I'm looking at lucid gravity SUV. Did a test drive. So go listen. Tell me if you like my video and give me your comments. People are dropping comments in the comment section, so I appreciate that. Secondly, I appreciate each of you. And by the way, follow the blueprint for brain drain. Follow Brain Drain, who has become a member of my channel. And as I said, as I get enough people, I will have shows just for members only. So if you become a member, it's not expensive, people. It's cheap. Tell them Brain Drain. What, $2.99 YouTube charge or something? See, people are dropping enough comments about me lucid people. We got our 1 month ago. Software is getting better. No more issues with key fobs. Aside from that, it runs way better than our former Quad G1 R1S. So people liking my YouTube video on may I forgot divorcing people if you not help me out to them. I'm divorcing them. And find a new girl. Find a new girl. Find a new girl. It's two. See, I'm Brain Drain. Join people. Put his money where his mouth is. $3 now. Kill it now. Join the channel. Cranky. I want hands out. One my beg. Fist. I haven't pressured anybody about being a member, but I would love if you are. I think I got 3 members: Zebev, Brain Drain, and I gotta remember the other person. It's really bad, actually. Man, I'm getting a little bit old when it comes to that. No, I don't follow Jamaica football, people. I don't know about Jamaica football. You guys are the ones from Jamaica football. You're the geniuses. If the JFF did what I suggested a while back, would have made the World Cup. No doubt. Go watch the previous videos I did on other people's channel and on my channel. If the JFF followed me, would have made the World Cup. I'm a car salesman. No, I am doing other things. My nephew is teaching me to do other things. He's my production staff, so he's helping me. And it's fun. It's fun. Go watch a video, people. Watch a video. 200. There's 220 people in the chat. I know most of you haven't watched the videos. Go watch the video. It's 30 minutes. You can't skip through some of it. And give me your feedback on the video. I'm being like Amazon now and all these companies. I'm trying to get feedback to improve my product. Let me get a website address. 1 second. Let me look it up. Not look it up, but I want to just copy it and give it to you. I haven't done a lot on the website lately because I've been so busy on the YouTube channel, but I got to start writing more articles. But I have a couple of articles on Rudolph Speid in there, you know. That's the website address, people. You can go to the website, click on register, because I do check it every day for registration, you know. People register as users or they subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe, people. You're not paying no money. But I've written quite a few political articles. I've written articles on technology. I've written a couple of social. I've written on football and CONCACAF. So when you go in there, if you want to see on Rudolph Speid, I think Rudolph Speid is on the cover actually for one of them. And then you go in the CONCACAF section and have a couple on CONCACAF. So go to the website, people, or go look at that video about lucid gravity. I appreciate you. And if each of you 200 people go to watch a video, it increased the number. I think the number is going up and people are commenting on the video from all walks of life, which I truly appreciate. So have a good evening, people. By the way, I have the Lucid video on both my Balance View channel and on my Cranky Life channel. So it's a good thing. So have a good evening. Thanks each and everyone for being here. You could have been any place else on a Sunday evening or Sunday night, and you chose to be here. So I truly appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. I know some of you don't agree with my perspective, and that's right, and it's good. We don't have a monolithic channel where people have to agree with me, but at least consider some of the things I say, and then assess it, and then you can provide an informed perspective as to what your views are. I understand the view that people don't think that we should go out and get a new team. I totally agree that we should. If your players are not playing football, you got to go find players who are playing football. Rudolph said the same thing, by the way, people. He said the same thing I've been saying. Hey, Rudolph, if you listen to me more often, you know, that make World Cup. Trust me. Even though I'm not that smart. Brain drain, guy your bed, brain drain. Guy your bed. You get too much trouble. But anyway, people, I'm just going to shut the channel down now, and I appreciate you. Before you leave, though, hit the like button, people. Before you leave, hit the like button. Before you leave, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Before you leave, go to the website, ssnnlive.com, and go read some of the articles. You know, if you don't like them, then you can just no subscribe. And before you leave, what else I was going to say? Balanced View, balanced, past tense, Cranky Live, SSNN Live, my videos on, I have some video, one I'm doing really well actually, on AI, on both Cranky Live and Balanced View, and my video on the Lucid Gravity is also on both channels. So watch them, listen, provide your feedback. I do engage in the chat. People can tell you. I engage with the commenters in the comment section. And most of my comments are not as caustic as they are on this channel. They're much better. Yes, it's multiple people. So enjoy your night, people. Bless up. Peace out. Thanks. See you when I see you. Cranky Life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk, and it's free, yo. Cranky Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life, where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky Life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky Life, give me my Cranky Life. I want my Cranky Life. Must have my Cranky Life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat, and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky Life. Tell them, Cranky Life. Heed them, Cranky Life. Want them, Cranky Life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Life. Tune into Cranky Life. Like up Cranky Life. Subscribe to Cranky Life. Cranky Life coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Life sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Life. Me say fi tell them Cranky Life. Me say fi heed them Cranky Life. On them Cranky Life. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Cranky. heed, wander, heed, wander, heed, one, heed, one, heed them.